Hey, welcome back to Matchball Grid. My name is Andre. Here, one second, I need to mute the audio, and I have so many fingers, and I have to unmute Pat because Pat is here, which is a total pleasure. One second, Pat. Sorry, man. Dude, let it rip.
Oh, hey, everybody! It's me, Patrick. I'm glad to be here.
How's it going? It is a day in March, March 4th, March 5th, 5th,
Fourth. It's fourth.
4th. How's everyone doing today? Oh my God, Pat! Let me tell you, I've been so antsy to stream this whole week.
Yeah, I
I
know.
I
I've
hope.
been the recipient of a lot of your antsiness.
Oh my God, it's been absolutely fantastic. If you don't know, there's a lot of news going on this week, this month. Is it way more accurate? So there's like a shit ton to talk about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how's your week been, Pat?
My week's been pretty good. Been reading a lot, playing some Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Born. I'm in a tournament.
Nice.
Otherwise, just been excited to follow along with NISEI as they reveal a lot of scoops.
Oh, there's so much scoops. For those who don't know, part of
Yeah.
the culture is scoops is the term we use for information that
Mm.
you did not know before previously. The fact that it has a connotation with Raisin Bran has, I don't think it actually matters, does it? Anywho,
I don't know.
we
Let's look up
got
the etymology of scoops.
we got super chat back. I just want to say hey to everyone who's popping in chat. Yo, Baza, how's it going? Yo, Pick One, how's it going? Andre, you sexy beast. Thank you, Pick One. You're a very beautiful person as well. Thank you. Jessica, how's it going? Happy spoiler season. Yo,
Hey,
D&D, welcome. Giles, I'm just gonna say have fun, stream fam. Gonna pop off the grid. Yo, enjoy your. It's Friday now, right? Yo, Ed, how's it going? Awesome. Hey, Patrick, Andre, how's it going? Alban, excuse me, from YouTube. How are you doing?
Chipotle Sam. It's good to see you, Sam.
Yo,
Sam's
Chipotle
a friend of
Sam.
mine from work.
Oh,
Formerly a friend of mine from work.
cheers. Formerly a friend.
Formerly a
Yeah.
friend, unfortunately
Yeah.
now mortal enemies, and it's just taunting that they're here.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
good to see you, Sam.
Yeah, Baza, I'm so excited for Shaper Leela. Yeah, we have so much to talk about. We have to get through this deck list of the week though first. That is a promise we made, and then we're gonna jump into all the news. I'm really stoked for it because there's so much to talk about. New cards, just more information, talking about the spoiler structure. Fantastic. Yasengrin also, how's it going? Yo, I've been enjoying your content. He's talking specifically about Ed. We're gonna plug Ed's stream a bit later in the news section. We have a note for that. I gotta set up a reminder so I can catch you live. Yo, you gotta follow and subscribe. On that note,
Yeah.
I've been plugging this channel a bit more. It feels okay, I guess. If you want to follow and subscribe to this channel on Twitch or YouTube, you get a notification when we go live and when there's content on YouTube.
Smash that like button, yada yada yada.
Feels bad, but it does help the channel. So
Yeah. And for Chipotle Sam, if you want to stick around, like the stuff we're discussing later in the stream is specifically new player oriented.
hell yeah.
Yeah. So that should be a lot of fun.
Baza says, I do enjoy how people keep trying to turn MM into some Rube Goldberg murdering machine. So this is the deck list of the week. It is a Rube Goldberg. Yo, Pat, I've been enjoying Miramorph way more than I thought I would. I haven't played a lot of Miramorph. For those who don't know, Miramorph is the new HB identity from the Ashes cycle. 4515 HB identity, and it says if your first, second, and third actions you take in your turn are different from each other, when the third completes, you may gain a credit or take a different action paying a click less. That is so wordy. But there's a couple subtleties here. Has to be your first, second, and third action. When I played this, I originally thought it was just like Jeeves, and that you could do any 3 actions on your turn, but you have to plan that out well. And then you get basically another additional action or just a credit a turn, which is fine. A credit a turn, you'd be pretty happy about. I've been really enjoying Miramorph. I think a big reason of that is subliminal messaging is in the card pool right now because of salvage memories, and it's really fun because it's a clickless operation, and it's hard to play operations as consistently every turn, and this really helps. So you can do like operation, install, advance, and you're off to the Miramorph races. But this list is really goofy because it does a very prominent Netrunner combo that is actually like the centerpiece of a lot of decks, not HB decks. And I don't think either of us realized that this is something you could do in Miramorph in a really incredible way, albeit the rest of the win condition associated with that is a bit of a stretch. But that's the Ronin. Pat, how does this work?
Ronin. So you're going to install Ronin for your first click, let's say. You're going to want to res it for free, then play an operation, dedication ceremony, to add 3 advancement counters to it. That's your second unique click in Miramorph. And third click, you're going to advance it. So you've done 3 different actions for your first 3 clicks. So Miramorph triggers. You get a free click, and then you spend that free click to trigger Ronin, allowing it to do 3 damage to your opponent from hand. All you need is 2 cards, and you can basically play this, do 3 damage to your opponent from hand.
Which is incredible.
That's
like
not a bad combo.
It's not tag related. It's not. They don't have to have an on-axis trap. Like there's even some turns where
they don't have to run first.
Yeah, they don't even have to run, which is a big deal. But there's I think some turns where the runner might actually, like, even as far as turn 1, might install a bunch of cards and end with 2 cards in your hand, and like you could kill them out of nowhere, which is bizarre. But there is a lot of other stuff that goes on top of this deck that kind of helps you get to that win condition consistently. You have things like Cerebral Overrider, which I don't know how the heck we do this. We have to do install advance. If they take 2 brain damage, you're so much closer from a lethal damage. You also have self-destruct chips. If you score this 3-1 out, you're off to the races because their hand size gets reduced. And then also Next Wave 2, which does a brain damage, which also reduces their hand size, which is pretty buck wild.
Yeah, that does bring me to something that I almost didn't want to point out to you, because I know it's just going to last like 45 minutes of you discussing your hatred of Next Dice.
Yeah.
And we don't have time for that today.
We don't have time for this today. So we're just going to play the Next Dice. Next Bronze is here because of Salvage Memory, so that's really cool. We'll talk about this. Netrunner DB is looking a bit different today, and it's really cool if you haven't noticed it. It's a bit tricky to see behind our images, but like, you notice that? That's actually new, and there's some really cool stuff that's going on in Netrunner DB as of today.
Yeah.
So you have the Next Dice suite, which is fine. We have pop-up window, which is a thing. The weird thing about this deck is it doesn't have a lot of the staples you'd expect in a Miramorph deck. Like one of the strongest cards in Miramorph is MCA Austerity Policy. Which is a very flexible way to score agendas and use your clicks, and in a very like easy way for Miramorph to gain advantage of. On top of that, we don't have subliminal messaging, which makes me upset. And we also have Tranquility Home Grid, which honestly, I feel like this card is really, really good. I think the thing that stops me playing it is I don't understand the art too much. I talked about this before, but where sometimes there's a mismatch between the art and what the card does, and then I feel like I'm dunking on someone. I'm going to stop. This card's really strong. I honestly think this card's really, really great. But right now, like, Asa doesn't need it. This card's really cool. One of Rashida's kind of wild. I like it. Yeah, it's in the list.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting.
But like, I think actually one of Rashida's probably... Like, you probably want more Rashidas, because this is a combo deck, and you need to draw one of each of these 2 ofs in the deck. If they're at the bottom of the deck, there's no way to tutor for them. So you really do need to draw through your deck pretty aggressively to get there. Next Sapphire kind of helps you, right? Because drop to X cards. We don't have a Gatekeeper, but this actually can maybe help you get there, which is kind of nice. Yo, Marc Andre, how's it going? Vincent, how you doing as well? Janktivist, yo, Andre, hey, Pat, happy Thursday. Let's play some Tau. Oh, man.
Hey, everybody.
Soon.
And it's like this time next month, probably the next time you and I stream live together, we're going to be playing with new cards.
Dude, what are you doing on the 28th?
No, just hanging out. No, I'm
yeah, right? No, but like for real, like on the 28th, we'll figure it out.
True.
Yo, Convex Polyhedra, how's it going? Since it's a combo deck, I'm surprised it's not min card size. So very few Netrunner players actually build minimum card size decks. And the big thing is like, yeah, it is a combo deck and you're closer to your combos, but then your agenda density gets a fair bit higher. And so there's like this balancing act between having, you know, the average card per agenda in your deck being a bit too high versus not drawing into your combo pieces. I feel like we might be better off just drawing more card draw. There's also like, I don't know the name of the card anymore, Pat, because you keep goofing it up. Bailey. Calvin Bailey. Yeah. Which is another draw card, which kind of works well in Miramorph. But yeah, that's the idea. We also don't have Biotic Labor, which could be a play if we want to score out self-destruct chips, but that's really expensive. I'm excited to see this. Let's do it. Oh, man, let's go. Calvin Bailey, lol. Yeah, D&D, what up? Yeah, it's technically Calvin Bailey. Import deck.
I mean, it looks like it could be something else.
You're the only one who thinks. I wasn't the only one avoiding mentioning. Sorry, Stoppable said I wasn't the only one avoiding mentioning the Next Dice. This is also the only time we've played Next Dice so far in Salvage Memories, so let's hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah.
True, that's fair.
Marked accounts, gang. Yeah, Jessica's saying that the cards apparently are all implemented and ready to go at the end of the month. Yes, from what I've heard, the cards seem to be ready to go on Jinteki.net on the 28th and on Netrunner DB on the 28th. So the release will be like, you can go right now. We'll talk about all that when we get to the news section, but that's fantastic.
Well, that's assuming that, like, they did mention that it's possible it won't be exactly the 28th, right? Like, there might be some
I don't know about that, but like, if it is, I guess that makes sense.
Okay, well, we can still hang out.
We can still chill, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Warwick says can confirm for printing proofs. Oh, that makes more sense for like physical release.
Yeah. Oh,
but the
okay, so
cards
you
will be
won't be able to
released.
order on the 20th, but the cards will be released. That's good.
Okay. Okay, cool. That's cool. That's cool. Also, Artem, how's it going? 600 decks? Yeah, we've been there for a minute. Can confirm for Jaina on the 29th. Oh, sick. 28th event.
Cool.
We're playing against Quetzal, which is interesting because we actually have 2 barriers in our hand. This does get a lot of subroutines eventually. Our opening hand is an early self-destruct chips. I feel like just keeping the Ronin is what we do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Ronin's half our strategy. Yeah, this seems like a good enough hand.
Okay. Yeah, Warwick, that's sick. All right, we also have an early next gold. If that hits, it can be kind of nice. But we're just trying to draw into our combo piece. So, Pat, do we jam behind a single next silver against Quetzal? Seems really bad.
Ugh.
I'm just gonna.
It does.
It does.
I mean, I think we ice up centrals and just hedge fund and hope we draw a non.
Yeah.
Soon.
So we're not gonna be able to Miramorph this turn unless we draw. But I feel like we just want to do the ice hedge fund, which is a good enough play.
Yeah. Do you feel like each of us are talking at maybe 50% faster than we normally would, just so we can get through this game faster?
I feel like there is a push to get to the game. Oh, this is I've had worse. They also have Earthrise. They have access to MK Ultra. When I think Quetzal, I think it might be Faust E3, or just like E3 with Pelongi is really good modernly. Because like if you're playing Quetzal, you need a pretty good reason why you want to do that. MK Ultra also comes in and it breaks next goal for 6, which isn't honestly that bad. I think we can draw once. Next Sapphire is good. And I feel like we can just do this into a new remote. In theory, actually, we want this one on the inside so that you hit the Sapphire into the gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can click for credit and then Miramorph gain a credit, which we fucked up.
Although also ideally you'd want the next Sapphire on a central. Like that's a card you want them running regularly.
Yeah, I just feel like we need a jam in early next wave 2. Oh, but like we need our ice res for next wave 2. I think you're right. It's not good for remote, but I think we need to do something before we flood up because I don't know. Yeah, Jessica, I agree with you. I think this Quetzal is probably E3, maybe Pelongi. I think those are the 2 big builds right now. And this kind of like heavy card draw, Earthrise, like, yeah, I think they need it. Trope, I think this is a Faust deck, which honestly might give us some room to run in them. They do have a Black Orchestra. So we could do install
IPO.
Do we just jam?
Like ice it into IPO?
Do we just do install double advance SDC?
No. Install double advance.
No,
I think we have the opportunity to play an IPO. We might, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Like I say, put down fight. That was not where it's supposed to go.
No, So the problem is that IPO, does it give you a Miramorph click?
I don't think it does, but it gives you a credit.
Yeah, it does.
Wait, did we lose a click just then? I thought we were going to install then install the agenda, then IPO.
I want to do Miramorph so we got a credit, just so because we're playing Miramorph. But you're right, we might just want to go faster. And there's a Pelongi, right. So they're gonna run into the Eli.
Playing Miramorphs.
So any of these hits are pretty bad for us.
Yep.
So now the thing here is that they actually can't pull out a breaker here. The Pelongi is gonna be pretty strong, but they're just gonna click and then Quetzal for 1. So all these axes are pretty bad. STC, that's what we wanted to jam. We didn't even get a next ice res, which would be ideal. So now we could do install advance hedge fund, but then they hit the 1 card in hand. I feel like we do it. They only have 7 credits next turn.
You don't want to draw, maybe?
Yeah, that's better. Draw, install advance.
Cool.
We actually could play a hedge fund here, but I'm going to keep the hedge fund in hand. We have 8 + 4 is 12, 13, 14, 15. We can get away with this, maybe. Did I get the credit? What happened there? Oh, yeah, to gain 1 credit. Oh, if you take the click, apparently you immediately lose it after playing a terminal with Miramorph, so it's an option.
So you have to take a credit. So it shouldn't be an option, but it is.
It technically is, yeah. Because terminal ends your action phase. There used to be this weird idea where you could do like hard-hitting news into hard-hitting news or something for like a weird period of time. All right, well, they're taking part HQ, it looks like. So unfortunately, we're not going to get anything res. So the next wave 2 is going to look pretty sloppy. All right, so this trashes a barrier. Please don't hit the Ronin. Yeah, I think we're...
That's too bad.
That's such a big deal because now they know what Decklist we're playing.
Yeah.
And they're getting good economy off of it. I think we do let it do. I think we advance it once. We're not going to score it, this naked 4-2. We just want to get a next dice on HQ. Draw.
I need to look up this.
I'm going to do draw, advance. But this seems really bad. Oh, we could do draw, install. The thing is, like, I have no doubt they're just going to continue spamming, and that's why they have this. They're probably not in Faust. They're just going to spam cutlery. It'll just be knife over and over
Yeah.
again.
I mean, it looks like they could be a one of Faust. Like, they have trope, they've got aggressive draw. That seems possible.
Fuck, we have to score this. No, we're not going to. We're definitely not going to score it. So medium is an issue.
Yeah, that's a stack.
So I'm going to do install advance IPO, I guess.
Sure.
Basically, anywhere they run, we'll get a next dice. Do we purge the Plongi? I don't know. We could. It's just really slow in tempo. Like, they're getting 4 credits every turn, let alone they're in 20 now.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get through all of this. Yo, Solomir, how's it going? Lopair, what's up? So this is the Rude Miramorph. Yo, how's it going, man? Yeah, it is. It's our Decklist of the Week first game. It looks really, really bad right now. Like, really, really bad for us. Interestingly, this actually has another subroutine. Which one? Shuffle X cards from HQ into R&D?
Yeah,
fuck that.
I guess so. Yep, we got our Bioroid rezzed.
Our next dice?
Sapphire, I honestly think Sapphire is great, even if you're running no other next dice, right? Or is it overcosted for what it does?
Man. Parasite's modern. Amina breaks it really easily. Okay, so they're basically going to play the whole game by not having less than, that many cards in hand. If they ever have 2 cards in hand, they can get lethaled. And now they have all their MU used up. The purging doesn't really matter. So we could do install advance and Geofront, and then the real bluff here is whether it's a Cerebral Overrider. I think we're going to do it anyways. We could also do install advance hedge fund, but I think we want to keep
in that case, it's a Miramorph, so.
I don't know. I don't want to play the hedge fund. I want to advance this again.
I feel like it's better value, although I guess it leaves Rashida pretty vulnerable.
Using MK instead of Plongi.
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, I think they want to keep the Plongi for knife, but I see what you mean. Yeah, we probably could have got away with the Rashida there, which would have been better for us. Oh, we're going to draw first. I should not have done that. So we'll do gain 8, obviously. We want to score this, so we do install. I don't think we advance it. Then we just probably like next silver it up again, which is like really unfortunate. But I think we can do it. Yeah, I did cut my hair. The hair people have been open since mid-February, and it was like 8 months since a haircut. Feels good, man. Click 2 for Miramorph has the same value as the second advance. Yeah, but then they're more likely to run it, because install advance, like, I guess it could only be a next wave. Install advance actually runs the gamut of a lot of stuff in our deck. It also puts less cards in our hand, so we'd be only holding a single Rashida, which is a bit dodgy. Like, this is actually good for hand padding, because if we draw an agenda, we might not be able to exactly jam it. We don't really need the money that much. If this goes through, it's like, it's okay. But like, we're down 1 Ronin, and I think we have literally no recursion.
I don't.
Oh, we have a single preemptive.
We have preemptive action. Okay.
Yeah. Man, this thing's so ripe for Boomerang. Next gold.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
So they pop trope. It's knife, sure gamble, liberated, dirty laundry, daily cast. So not too much knife recursion. There's the medium that we were like, playing around. So this is the next bronze. It's 3 strength, which is not good enough. You want to be at 5. And they're definitely going to end up like, this is the worst case scenario, like ice destruction versus our list. Now this does have a lot of subroutines, so they're going to have to end up plonging it, and it has 4 subroutines, so it's actually 6 credits to get through. So fire all is what's going to happen. But yeah, now they knife it, and like it makes this worse, it makes this worse, it makes all our ice worse. Like ice destruction versus this shit is so fucking rough. And I feel like we have to score this. Let's hope we hit a knife here, man. Oh, it's not even damage. It's about the end of the next turn, so we're never gonna hit a knife. Yeah, right. Oh no. Why is this a deck run next ice? And because it needs to fire next wave 2 to do brain damage so that the Ronin combo more accurately hits. Yeah, ice destruction. This is absolutely gonna mop us. Like, the best we can do is put another next bronze in front of here and never res it, which I think is the right play.
Do we purge?
No, not really. I don't think so. Because like purging only stops them from dealing with the next silver, and it's already really expensive for them.
Yeah.
I do want to hit this, right? Like we want to do install, hit this, and then we probably just put an ice on R&D. The question is whether we put this in a remote or not, and I don't think we do. Because we need the remote for Rashida or whatever.
Oh yeah, you never ice that, right?
Well, in some lists you would. I think right now
I
that
guess
we
like
have
Amakua, you'd ice it.
Yeah, against Amakua you would not do this. The answer is because Guy likes next ice. It's a reasonable answer. Is the goal to stick some random brain so Ronin kills more likely? Yeah, there's a lot of ways to like do pseudo brain, right? Like we have real brain, we have fake brain, and then we have cerebral overrater, which is very real brain. And also, like, I don't know if they have to play around the combo. We have to draw one Ronin in 30. We could have clicked for credit and then played the hedge fund with Miramorph click. Install nano etching, use nano etching, click for a credit, play the hedge fund. Yeah, but we want to play around Hippo because if we lose this, we're in a really bad spot. So this is going to be a 5 credit trade, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Forget Ronin, just brain them all the way. It's honestly playable. And there's the E3 feedback implants, so that's how they're going to get through the next silver. Oh, wow. That's actually good. So we do install, credit, hedge fund?
Yeah, let's do it. Install, yeah.
Cool. That feels like a good turn. I wonder if they're scared of like, there's nothing scary anymore, right? Like they have 14 credits. Next diamond is not an issue. Next gold is an issue. I don't even think we have diamond, right? Oh, we do have one. We do have
diamond.
One. Okay.
And it would cost us 6 right now.
Okay, so this is the fucking problem, right? Like they knifed the first ice they encounter. And then Hippo is a problem. So what's the right play here? What's the right play here?
You might as well res it, right?
But then they knife it and then they Hippo this following turn. I think this is always a Hippo defense and they just eat this one.
Okay, yeah.
And eventually we get another ice in front of there. Daiji, how many times has Miramorph idea trigger until now? Probably 3 or 4, not a lot. How's it going, by the way? Ganked? Yeah, the problem is we're playing the Decklist of the week, and I don't know if they know what we're up to, but... Why next gold when diamond is pretty much always better? No, gold can win the game. Like, people mark as baddie next gold subroutines, and you just win, like, on the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah,
I think
either gold, one of next gold subroutines.
Yeah. Yeah, next gold generally shows up in more decks than next diamond. That was, yeah, next ice is that quick list of the week. Yeah, that's how it's going. So this is Quetzal and just 2 credits. With E3. Another card from Salvage Memories. I can't believe we had to queue up against Ice Destruction. This list has no baddie? Yeah, this list doesn't have any baddie. But this is still relevant. Oh, they now know we're on Overrider, so they're going to double guess their stuff. And we did actually land this, which is really cool. Yeah, let's go Ronin. Okay, we got one of our combo pieces. Magnet
lost the other one.
Magnet up front's pretty good. And I think we're going to lose the medium. So do we do install advance Overrider?
I think we might as well, because that's our out right now, right?
But I think
like getting.
Do we lose to medium? I think we might have to respect the medium a bit more.
Okay, so install the overrider on R&D. Like, come on. In fact, res it, dedication ceremony it, then they can't.
Yeah, back channels for value. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, new remote? Oh my god, new remote is so bold. No, I'm gonna be a bit cautious here. I'm gonna I'm just gonna put this on R&D. Then I click for 2 credits? No, that we'll draw first. Credit, just to get the Miramorph.
Yeah. Since
gold is so much easier to break and it's vulnerable to boomer. Yeah, I don't even know the math is on diamond. What is it? 10-6?
6 strength is solid for a century.
6 strength is good. It's also, yeah, not weak to boomerang. Yeah, baddie makes gold playable. Yeah, I think so. But I think they wanted to do 1 of each because they like next dice. I don't think we even have that many sapphire. Oh, we have 2. Okay. You also never res diamond for 10 credits? You'd say that, but if you watch the stream for a while, I always hit next diamond in turn 1 on 10 credits. Do we do install advance hedge fund? Or do we just jam install advance? Fuck it.
Yeah, advance twice.
Trashing any runner card is also very strong. Yeah, it is a good subroutine for sure. But these subroutines, if they do land, you win the game.
I've heard from the Noah that spoilers be available on JNet before the 28th. Isn't that show on Netflix?
What? Is this a
right.
joke?
No,
this is a joke I don't get because of...
It was a joke that no one's going to get.
Netflix, yeah. That's fine.
But I also don't know what the Noah is.
So this is going to fall apart for us. Like, we definitely wanted to get another next silver on here, but now the magnet's on the front. Oh, my bad. Because the problem is, like, they can only deal Quetzal once, and now they're getting the most benefit out of Quetzal E3. Condra's long-term relationship with taking brain damage is my favorite Metabolic Grade trope. It happens a bit.
Yeah. Oh, Noah is one of the main developers on JNet. That makes sense.
Oh, you didn't know that? I thought you were goofing. That's Noah the Duke, right? Oh, that's our next Ronin.
They said...
Fuck.
Okay. That's too bad. Yeah, they said the Noah, and I thought it was like it was an initialism or something.
Oh yeah, that's Noah. Noah's cool. Okay. We could consider purging at this point. This looks really bad.
Oof. They are not going to run that.
No. I don't think so.
Install over it, advance.
That's so bad, man, if they don't run it. And I don't think they will run it.
I know.
I think they're just going to try and tunnel medium. Like, we need a purge medium for that play not to look attractive.
Yeah. Okay, so purge.
Yeah, I will.
Purge and throw out.
I didn't realize they used Pelongi. Eli's kind of cute because, like, you want to stack barriers against Quetzal, but Eli E3 seems really bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you purge, they might run. Yeah, I think so. But, like, we probably would have scored here if it was an agenda. But that's the thing. Now that we paused, it makes it more interesting because it'd be like, do you want to score or do you want to purge? And like, oh, I think we'll lose to medium, so maybe we purge there. So the only way we combo kill is to draw into a preemptive action. They also know the next 2 cards, I think, on R&D. So, like, they know what we're drawing into. And, like, we're not going to be able to Ronin kill them unless, like, we 4 advance a Ronin. We might actually have to double advance this. I'm going to res next bronze.
Yeah.
So they can hippo it. I don't care. It costs them 6.
I mean, if they hippo it, that just opens up plays elsewhere.
Oh, they can't. They actually can't break this. We denied a dirty laundry.
No. That feels good.
That's the best thing we've done so far. Come on, Stimac server 2, you coward. Oh my god, I'd be so happy. Earthrise? Okay, we'll mill them, don't worry. Eli keeps coming back, dude. I think we protect this with an Eli.
Sure. Yeah, because I think the next dice is more valuable than Eli in this situation.
And, like, I think we're going to do hedge fund credit. Like, this is awful, but I guess our money is also awful.
Yeah, well,
I'm not power drawing last click, but we probably should have power draw it there. We should have drawn instead of credited, and then we could have got the free credit. We don't need 2 credits. But this is how you play around hippo, right? Like, you just have stuff that you don't res. Okay?
You got money.
We have a scoring window now. We really do.
If only, huh?
If only.
If only we had something to score.
If only we drew last turn. Oh, okay.
Okay. I mean, they'll be down to a 3 hand size.
What is this? Yeah, okay. I thought we'd get our Miramorph trigger there. Yo, Frank, what up? Playing the next suit. Wasn't expecting that. I did not have a say in this one. But it looks like things are coming up Millhouse right now. Oh, is that a stim hack? No. Whoa, we actually do the brain damage.
All right, cool.
I'll take it. We don't need money. Yes. Thanks for asking.
Yes, of course.
So if I play Hippo and Tau, then there's always going to be unres dice to swap around. Yep. There's so many cool reasons to play Tau. I think Tau is so cool. Yeah. I'm so excited for Tau. Okay, there's an Obcurie. So Archives is basically free Pelongis, but, you know, whatever. They also see 2 Overriders in here, which is really bad for us. But also
no one ever expects next Diamond over Archive.
That makes the third overwriter look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea with Pelongi is that they can make anything a barrier and then get through it. Okay.
Hippo was a lot of influence though, right? Is Hippo 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's actually like playable. The fact that they're breaking this for 6 is so good. I thought they would Quetzal this and Pelongi it. Like that's so good to Quetzal this. I don't think paying 6 here is right. Oh, because they want to do it for next silver. Never mind. I guess they have to here. Yeah, Hippo out of faction's a hard sell. I think there's so many other reasons why you want to do Tau. Like you can abuse Cuban if you move unres dice to the outside that they can't afford. Turning wheel is really good.
Oh yeah.
Any pressure card on Centrals is really good. Too bad you can't import Tau into Anarch. He's not Gmod, is he?
No, I think it's a natural. I think I looked that up specifically, actually.
Oh, cool. Just do some reverse color shifting like they did to the Pandagraph spoilers. All right. So putting a ice on archives is like not the worst idea, especially if it's next diamond. So we could do draw install credit.
Maybe Sapphire's better on archives because Sapphire at least, I mean, in theory, if they don't break it, lets us manipulate archives.
This though,
is that something?
Hits them like a truck.
It does hit like a truck, yeah.
Like I think you're right, but they did break this for 3, right?
Yeah.
And then they just let us fire that one subroutine that doesn't matter. Okay, Miramorph is honestly firing every second turn or so. It's not the worst. Diamond will probably just get hippoed. If they hippo Diamond, I'm totally happy with that. Like we don't lose to archives. We just want something there so that the Pelongi gets carried. Like now we purge. Next turn we purge.
Yeah, for sure.
They have fucking Rizeki? Holy shit.
Interesting.
That means that they want to fight a war on the remote.
Yeah.
God, they have 3 cards in hand. We can get them. I'm keeping the next dice for obvious reasons.
Because you love next dice.
I do like next dice.
Can't bear to be apart from it.
That's the second iPad race? Yeah.
I mean, if they're spending it, that's fine with us.
That's totally fine with us. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
Go. And they can't Quetzal this. This is, what, 9 credits? This actually fires. 1, 2, 3. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, this literally fires, man.
Yes, we did it.
Holy fuck, we did it, guys. And then we can trash Knob Korea and they eat their own rig. This is why we do it.
Oh, that's great.
This is why we believe in next diamond. Oh my God. The brain. Oh, it's so good. Fire all. Do 1 brain damage. Fuck your hippo. Do 1 brain damage. That's another. It's a medium. Okay, trash a card. So this is interesting. I think we do the Knob Curie.
That's value. Like you force them to trash 2 more cards. Like
because now they're over MU, so now the Pelongis also won't get recurring value. That's the second Knob Curie in the bin. They probably don't have 3, so this is a mean thing. And now if we do get the Ronin back into our deck, that's a big deal because they're on 1 hand size. They're on 1 hand size. We need to just get the combo.
I mean, even on 1 hand, but yeah, like this is the dream.
Oh man, this is so good. JTFQ, how's it going? We believed in this one. And now this run actually doesn't do anything. It's literally worthless besides seeing the drafter because they thought they were going to run that to get a Pelongi counter.
And yeah, the Knob Curie is gone, so what's it going to do?
Yeah. Okay, so at this point we need to draw into preemptive. It's the most important thing to do.
That's also fine.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money.
No. You install Tranquility.
Yeah.
Install the agenda.
No, but this is the first time each turn you install a card, so it eats its own install.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, so here, I'll show you this, but this is like a real surprise that only JNet will tell you. The first time you install a card in the server counts when you install Tranquility Home Grid, so it eats its own install.
And of course, it's not res, so that's too bad.
So the text doesn't fire, which is really bad. The problem with this is we put them on 0 hand size, which honestly doesn't change anything for us. Them stealing this would be a problem because then they could win on an Ikoa. But talk about the Ikoa. We're still gonna go for it. I'm gonna take the money because we need to res 6 credits worth of shit. I'm just gonna do credit.
Yep.
I think that ruling is a big reason Tranquility Clear doesn't seem more play. I 100% agree with you, Jessica. If that was different, this card would be really strong. This card looked so strong when it came out. As like a breaker big grid kind of replacement. Anything that you have a lot of upgrades in a deck, which is like a fun jank space people like to play in. This is a really big deal. Not credit advance. No, I don't really want to advance this. Maybe we could got away with it, but then they consider running it. I don't know. This looks like a Rashida. Imp. Oh, okay, the Ikwa is not safe. They're going to go HQ here. So if you res an Eli, they break E3 it. So I'm going to just let them pay, what, 6 credits here? And then if they hit 1 dedication, we're fine.
Yeah, we've got a 1 in 5. 1 in 5 with some gender, that's fine.
6 to break. Oh man, that's not sustainable. They hit the last
they have
overrider.
With access. That's okay.
No, yeah, that's okay. We can still have a win con here. And they didn't actually have to use the imp, which is an issue. Fuck us.
Damn it. No, but this is good. This is good. If we can score that and the self-destruct chips.
No, this is. Oh, yeah, you're right. Do we just score this or do we purge the imp? I think we just score this. Then we have something next turn to jam into. All right, so they have 0 hand size, which on its own is like a really nice place to lose when you play HB. Punished for not advancing? Yeah, Argentina, you're totally right. We were punished for not advancing, but that might change what they've done.
Yeah, we've unlocked an achievement, even though we still haven't won the game.
All right, 40% on agendas here. They're spending half their economy to get in. They have to discard these 2 cards, which is nice. Oh, I hate continue to pass size. Dedication, they're going to feel happy imping that. Turn 22, baby? Are you serious?
Poor pool.
I don't feel like this game was that long. Wow, yeah, I guess it is like 9:20.
Oh. No, it's still not super long for us.
Okay. So we do install advanced credit.
Yeah, then we gain a free credit.
Yeah, we gain 2 off of this.
Oh, yeah, true.
And if this gets scored, we win on brain damage, and we are the heroes of Hasbiroid.
What's her name? Director Haas herself will congratulate us.
I hope she builds us our own son. It's been a really fun game. The start was rough. Yeah, it's going okay. I'm not gonna toot our own horn, but like we played strategically around not getting our ice destroyed. Like we fought tooth and claw on it. Obviously, the next time it was like, okay, now we can win.
Yeah.
They can't even stim hack anymore. Well, they can if they win before the run ends.
That's true.
They have to top deck stim hack and run. Now, does this server hold up? Double next silver? Yes, it will, because they have no way to deal with it. We won't have credits to score. Yeah, we have to res both of these.
Yeah, they face planted diamond.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game.
Yeah. They ran archives, and we res diamond for like 3 credits. So this one, like they could go ahead and hippo, but that's a problem. Then next turn they hippo this silver. But this is like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 credits. And then this is a problem next turn. So like, it's looking a bit dodgy. They don't have a fractor. No, it looks like they don't. I think they were just going to Pelongi Nopkari. What? That is a weird place for that arrow to be.
No. I think this is Jinteki messing up.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. Are we going to res next silver? Like, can they get through?
No, they definitely can't get through next silver. But yeah, the question is whether they can get through the rest of it. Because this is only 6 credits. Yeah, we have to. So this is the problem. It's like now we're weak next turn to, oh, wait, they have no more hippos. No, we're good. They have no more knives. Like they could run through this. So like we have to actually protect this. And we need to draw a real end to run here.
Okay, but for money, do we like?
Oh no, we
install in.
I think we do install NGO, advance NGO, preemptive to get the Ronins back into. Because if we draw a Ronin, we win. Right? Because then we have
Ronin, we win.
Yeah, because then we just Ronin dedicate them, right? So we'll do new remote, advance, and then we'll do preemptive on 0.
But we'd rather win by brain damage at this point, right? Like, are we trying to win?
We can't hold them up. We can't stop them. And this allows us to do both, but like we can't stop them. We'll have enough money next turn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So we'll just do 2 Ronins. I don't want to put anything else into our deck. Is it up to 3?
Is it?
Oh, it's exactly 3. Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Rashida?
Yeah. Rashida. Brain damage stop points though. Yo, Cat, we can do it. The problem is they can get through this. Maybe. If they click for credits, maybe. Actually, maybe not. So like if they don't, we just pop this and then we'll gain 5. We'll still be able to brain damage them. So like we have flex. We have flex here. We also could consider pre-resing this to play around Councilman.
I was thinking about pre-resing it.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Fuck it. If they Councilman us, they deserve to win. That's good. That wasted click of theirs. That's a good reason not to pre-res it, because I'll actually consider running it. Who runs Councilman? Nobody. But like, that's how my brain works. I don't know. It's rough. Mark, what's up? They lost Puemo. They don't have the credits to install Kelch and break gold. Okay. Advance. Advance. Advance.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
We fucking did it. Ah!
Oh man, that was pretty
game.
exciting for a game I was thinking about just throwing away.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so good. -1 hand size feels great. So then normally, if you get to -1 hand size, you win when the runner enters the discard phase at the end of their turn, and they obviously can't discard down to -1. But we actually won because we did brain damage, and they didn't have the card to.
Yeah, we did 1 damage when they had 2 cards in hand. And that was pretty good.
Oh man. So Ronin, it would take us a while to get there. What's the rest of the agenda suite? 2 Ikoa?
3 Ikoa total.
Or 3? Is it 3?
Yeah, it's 3.
3
Ikoa,
yeah.
3 next.
3
just
Ikoa,
1 Vitruvius.
And 1 Vitruvius. It's the deck list of the week on NetRunner. If you scored the brain chip second, they'd have 1 last turn. Yeah, exactly. Because that would be their hand size would be reduced, and they actually have a whole turn to play. And then they just basically smash HQ. They could have won. Oh well, no, it's kind of hard with Ikoa, but they could have maybe got away with it. Thanks for the game. Woo! Nearly MP would also kill at 0 hand size. Yeah, no, it totally would. But this list, it has its priorities. I mean, that was wild.
Yeah, cool.
All right, Pat, you ready?
Great. Okay. We're going to talk about the big news, right?
We've been stoked about this. News has been so crazy this week. I know you all want to talk about this. That's right. A new Return to Circle Undone has come to Arkham Horror. There's new tarot cards. You actually get a deck of tarot cards yourself.
Can I just say, we have some big cards.
We have huge
cards.
Literally,
we have bigger than usual cards.
Normal cards are like maybe just a bit of this. I'm kidding. This is cool though, but this is where we're at this month. Am I right? So, everyone's actually like really into Circle and Dawn, which I'm not surprised. That was really fun. I'm actually very excited for this. So the gateway opens is the beginning of this month, and basically this whole month there's such a tight schedule of what's going to be happening. Basically every morning when I come out of bed at I'm going to say 9 o'clock and hope I don't get flack for that. There's something for me to see on my phone, and there is a conversation happening, and there's a whole schedule going on. So basically, Nisei has been talking about the gateway opens. You see the symbols for system gateway, which is literally a Stargate. Am I right? And the 21 for system update, which is basically the core set. And we finally see Pantograph, which is a card that we actually talked about last week because it was very cleverly unscrambled. They kind of did solve the ARG game, as far as I understand. And we talked a bit about this console before. Pat, what do you think?
I think it's pretty interesting. Like, obviously, it's replacing Astrolabe. I mean, Astrolabe's been gone for a while. As shapers need a reliable, cheap console, and they haven't had that forever, right?
Shaper consoles have been a bit toilet.
Yeah, and it's pretty solid. Like, it's going to get value back if you get it early or mid game. Like, it's going to get its value back. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
and its ability to save you a click like every now and then is just a bonus.
So we'll talk about the man who basically wears this suit in a second, because that's been spoiled today. I think this is really cool for temple plays. The word Leela is going to show up a lot, and I think this allows for Leela plays. The idea that something is scored, and that's basically what they do their whole turn, unless they like have that Leela plan around. And then you can capitalize on that by dropping some sort of pressure card, and that's really cool. It also gives you money. It's also worth noting, I didn't realize on my first read, it's on is scored or stolen, which makes it twice as good as Logos, which, you know, isn't a card you want to compare yourself to, but it's also half the cost, and that's really, really good.
I used to run Logos in my Leela decks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pantograph is pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm really
I think it's going to see a lot of play, like, especially because shapers don't otherwise have a good console right now, but generally, like, that's a pretty good way to get +1 Emu.
Yeah, what I'm interested is like on the Ashes release, they talked about Onacom, which is it's a pretty strong console, but I've almost never seen it in
That's
Shaper
true.
because Shaper in faction doesn't have as many strong events as say Criminal, who I see it import more often. And I'm interested to see whether it's this set of cards or whether it's more likely Bashes, the cycle, that's the code name that comes out after Ashes, whether they're going to fix that issue. But this is definitely a good direction, especially also because we're losing Haley, and being able to tempo install cards, clicklessly install cards is a cool Shaper thing, and this is good.
That's true. And this plus Haley would have been rather
Busto. It was so
aggressive.
fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
Yeah.
do that in internal if you want. Also, Nice, how's it going? Nice. Every spoiled card so far has been cool. Yeah, it's been really cool. This is a really big deal for those who wanted some hard dates on stuff. All of these dates, they've been hits perfectly so far, and there's a lot of stuff. So let's go through it really quickly. Rules update, we'll get to that in a second. We're basically right here. So we've seen so far the Wayland ID and the Shaper ID. When this is referring to System Gateway. So basically every faction in System Gateway looks like they're going to have an ID. They all seem to be 40 card decks, 15 influence. So we're seeing this slowly. That will go on till March 9th. Then there's an article on design, which I'm always so fascinated to see behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's always fascinating.
Development, these kind of seem the same to me, but not that I'm not excited for them. And this is wild. March 12th and March 13th, you'll get a complete list of the runner cards in System Update 2021. It's worth knowing that System Update doesn't have any new cards, but it's also going to be a product that it looks like they'll be releasing, and it will have like Nisei card frames and Nisei Deep Dream art, maybe some other art as well. And so that is the product.
We've seen some other interesting art from it.
Yeah, we have.
This is all cards that have been sort of rescued from rotation, and I think maybe some other cards that are not rotated. Like the way I interpret it might be wrong, is that some of these cards are cards that are not yet rotated but are still integral to the game enough to be in like the core set.
Yeah. Arzan asks, do we know if we're going to get the console spoiled with each other runner? I don't know. I don't think so. So far, we've seen one ID and then a card was spoiled, but Pantograph was spoiled before. It wasn't in the article. The article does mention cards that haven't been spoiled yet, just by the name. We'll get to that in a second. Yo, Killswitch, is the System Update and Gateway meant to be a new core set? Trying to sell my buddy on the game, and this seems like a great jumping in point. Killswitch, the System Gateway is specifically the perfect primo Netrunner product for new players. It is going to give you enough cards to build a deck of every faction, probably not at the same time because you need to share the neutrals, but it'll allow you to build a legal deck of every single faction, Corp, Runner as well. That's the best thing. Now, what System Update is basically like if you play or are familiar with Magic the Gathering, bless you, Pat.
I need a sneeze button. I gotta get myself one for Christmas.
That is basically the fundamental building block of standard format when it comes to organized play in Netrunner. So these cards are legal, everyone can deck build with them, as well as the last, I think it's 2 or 3 cycles of Netrunner products that goes back into Fantasy Flight Games stuff, which is kind of hard to find modernly. If you're a new player, System Gateway is fantastic to pick up. If you also want to continue giving yourself extra things to build, pick up System Update. It's worth knowing though, if you buy System Update and not System Gateway, you will not have any identity. Oh no, you will have identities, but you probably won't be able to build any legal decks. There's just probably not enough cards from each faction. I don't think.
And you'll be missing some core cards like Sure Gamble and Hedge Fund as well, which are only in System Gateway.
Yes.
You should also note, maybe you missed this while I was sneezing. System Gateway is 2 products. Like one is like you get 2 decks in a box, and they work together and they play against each other very well. And then you can also buy the follow-up product, which is like that's where all the IDs come in, because the 2 dual decks are just neutral IDs. You can't legally deck build with them.
What?
But then you can buy a separate. Yeah, that's the way they're doing it. System Gateway is 2.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so like you buy System Gateway Part 1, you just get 2 decks. You buy and that those 2 decks have 1 ofs, they have 2 ofs, and they have 3 ofs. You buy a System Gateway Part 2, and it fills in the rest of the playset of each card, as well as offers you IDs to start deck building.
I had no idea. That actually slaps. I didn't realize that. Oh, that's super cool. Artem is saying, please don't compare the starter decks to MTG starter decks that are not good. I meant it more that MTG has like don't they have a core set, like a Magic 2021 core set? I meant more like System Updates like that. And Frank asked, System Gateway won't have new cards, and Jessica responded, that's exactly correct. Well, no, Jessica's correct, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. Frank, you're wrong. System
Ooh,
Gateway
calling it Frank.
is 95% new cards, 98% new cards besides Hedge Fund and Sure Gamble. So it's almost all new cards. System Update will be no new cards. It's basically things that have already been printed, nothing new. So if you own a complete set of Netrunner cards, you have no reason of purchasing System Update unless you specifically want more copies of cards you already own and or you want the Nisei version of the arts.
Yeah.
I assume these are sold from Make Playing Cards or they're an American-Canadian place to grab them from. Killswitch, that's exactly it. Nisei will be giving links when that's up. There's drive-through cards, which from most people's experience outside of the United States, the shipping is awful. Nisei does make a better cut off of it though, so that's what they encourage. But generally us Canadians, we print off Make Playing Cards. That ships internationally a bit better. Oh, Jessica, that's a good point. Or if you want 3 of cards like Sansan City Grid, which if you owned a single core set back in the day, you won't have 3 of. That's also a really good point.
True.
That's totally true. Okay. Tracker lists and player aids. Don't know what that is. I'm stoked.
I mean, I'm guessing that's like what comes with System Gateway that allows you to like count credits. Because like they can't assume that everyone has other board games that they can pilfer from, right? So they're like, I assume they're going to come with their own credit chits, their own virus chits, if they have viruses at all.
Fascinating. That's a good point. I forgot. Yeah, this won't be coming with credits or tokens, so you'll have to like use checkers or pieces of rice or whatever you have kicking around.
Yeah.
Pat is right on as usual, dude.
As usual.
I haven't got used to it yet, but I know how it is. Frank, sorry, I was dunking on you for fun. Convex. So if you're starting with no cards, you need to be all 3: SGP, SG Part 2, and System Update. No, not exactly. You could just buy System Gateway Part 1 and you'd be fine. You'd be able to play those decks with the neutral IDs and you'd have a good time just playing tabletop Netrunner. If you buy the second part, that gives you a bit more identity so you can start doing a bit of tweaking and tuning your decks. If you also on top of that want to buy System Update 21, that's going to give you even more cards and even more flexibility to be able to tune those decks, and it'll also give you more identities, which are basically like the players you're playing at with unique abilities. So you can get away with buying 1 of them, you can get away with buying 2 of them, and you can get away with buying all 3 of them. What I definitely don't recommend is don't only buy the update, definitely get the gateways first.
Yeah, I think like, if you just want to play kitchen table Netrunner, System Gateway is the way to go.
Yeah.
And if you want, and if after you get that, you want to go out and like play at a pub or a game store when we're all able to do that, like then you want to start getting into a System Update as well.
Yeah, or fuck it, buy them all at once, save on shipping, and then decide later whether or not you like it. I'm pretty sure
that's a good way to do it too.
That'd be a fine business model.
Yeah, Community Week we can skip right past. That doesn't affect us.
Yeah,
right?
this doesn't affect us, so we can go skip past that.
Okay, cool.
Full review of Community Week spoilers. So that's basically Nisei's gonna be writing an article to talk about Community Week. Actually, Pat, I do want to talk about Community Week because Nisei has specifically said in this marketing that there's gonna be like some surprise like people doing spoilers. Which I don't know what that means, whether that means like past Netrunner content creators that maybe don't make content anymore,
that'd be amazing.
Or people from outside of the Netrunner verse. Like what about if Dicebreaker has an article or, stuff like that. Like that sort of publicity would be really good for the game. But I'm actually really interested about that. Otherwise, we have nothing to say about that. Andre, did you not get on the short list for Community Week? What are you talking about? I've burnt so many bridges at this point.
Yeah.
We'll be lucky if the fact that like Nisei folk can be in this chat is honestly, that's a right I might take away at any point.
Yeah, the fact that they can stand you, like, I think it's because I'm here. Like I'm kind of a buffer between you and the Nisei people, and like I keep you honest.
Okay. Walls, puzzles, and guards. Okay, if you ask me, barriers, code gates, and sentries, right? That's what we're going here?
Yeah, and the cards that interact with those types of ice.
Yes, I'm assuming that's what that is. If that's another subtype, I'd be surprised but happy. Cards by runner economy?
I think they've specifically, like someone from Nisei specifically said, walls equals barriers and cards that affect.
Oh, okay, sick. So like fractors. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yo, ACN, somebody find Kiv and give him a card reveal. I'd be so happy if that's a thing. Lucas also be sick. Damon, there's so many people. I don't know if they can get involved in the fun, but I'd be so stoked to see those people who've, given a shit about the game for so long to see other people give as much as a shit. That'd be dope. And then finally, full list of System Gateway updates. System Gateway and System Update are released. So from what we've understood from chat, they're going to be available on NetRunnerDB on that day. They're going to be available on Jinteki.net that day, barring whatever might show up. And then the proofs you'll be able to purchase them that day or the next day. I'm going to keep it vague. But basically that day, though, a lot is going to be happening. We'll probably be streaming on that day if, it's digitally available.
Yeah.
Andre refuses to be part of the community. I'm gonna make my own community, and it's gonna be sick. Nisei is not invited. I don't know. I've been. Anyways, this is sick. Like seriously, every day something really dope is happening, and this is incredible. Like for Nisei, who have been, admittedly for the last couple of months, they haven't had too much to share because they've been saving up for this. The fact that like they have something every day is a shit ton of work. Like these are articles, and on top of these articles, there's the fiction. Like these are 2 posts. There's so much. Like they've absolutely
there's short stories along with this and stuff like that. Every single day there is something to look forward to, which is incredible for like a spoiler month.
Hell yeah. Yusengren says the next weekend I'll be hosting a tournament. You mean the next weekend after the 28th, right? We'll definitely plug that when we get closer to. If it's actually this weekend, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna go through some stuff. This is fiction called Starter. I don't think I actually read this one. I missed this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like I was thinking maybe I would go through and describe them, but then I realized like these are so short that me describing them would take as much time as it would for someone to read them.
Yeah.
And like I think they're all worth reading. Like I enjoyed all of them.
Okay.
I also enjoyed the one they posted on Nisei's Patreon. Is very, very dark, or it ends in a dark way that's kind of redeemed in one of these other fictions. But I think it's worth reading if you're subscribed to the Patreon.
Super dope. Arizon is Sengren is saying single-sided Swiss will be right after the release. We are marching towards full system gateway. Hey yo. Okay. System update 21 rules change. Okay. We're going to be talking a lot about news and rules and stuff today. If you want gameplay, we'll probably get to that at the end, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. Maybe we're a bit late because this was like hot news days ago, but we only stream on Thursdays largely. So let's talk about this really quickly. So maybe
we've had time to think about it, unlike everyone else.
No, everyone's just reacting. We have really solid takes. Bonus fiction is available on Patreon. Yes, if you're a patron to Nisei. Okay. Yeah. So breaching the topic. So this is a rules change. It is not so much a fundamental rules change as in it won't change how you play Netrunner, but they're changing the jargon on certain cards in a way that I think does make things a lot easier to understand. Basically, how there is a bunch of cards that care about when you like make a success, not when you make a successful run, but when you access cards or get to the access card step. And there's some cards that care about when you get to the access card step, some cards that care about when you access a single card, or what I said before, just getting to the access step. And Nisei wants to make all that a lot simpler, and so they've come up with something called breach. This is a little word that when you breach the server, that is basically after the run is declared successful and you're now at the point where you can access cards. That is when the server is considered breached. So a very simple way of looking at this is whenever a card says, whenever you access cards, the word basically access cards, if you replace that with the word breach, you basically get there. It gets 90% of the work done. So they show a couple examples, and these are pretty noteworthy because these are both confirmation of cards that we didn't know that are going to be in system update, which no surprise for these cards, I guess, specifically, but also you see the new art, and I like this legwork art a fair bit. So
that's neat.
Run HQ, if successful, access 2 additional cards when you breach HQ. So that basically replaced when you access cards in HQ, access 2 additional cards. And that's a lot of text. It's not particularly unclear, but there's other cards where that gets a bit, a bit unclear. This is nice. Maker's Eye, again, new art. There's also new flavor text on these, which is really fun. Run R&D, if successful, access 2 additional cards when you breach R&D. The wording is so much cleaner. Yeah, I agree with that. And sec testing a card also, that's really cool because this would have rotated when Honor and Profit rotates. This is now in the system update. When your turn begins, you may choose a server. The first time you turn, you make a successful run on this server. Instead of breaching it, gain 2 credits. And that's why instead of breaching it matters because you don't get to the step where you could access cards.
Exactly. I think security testing is the best example of how breaching works because like it does make things a little bit more clear than it's the way security testing was before.
Just over at the keyword discussion, let me grab my popcorn. Yeah. A good example also they mentioned here is Amakua is a bit confusing because Amakua technically gets a token even if you access 0 cards. So if you run an empty archives, you technically got to the access step of the run, but even though you didn't access cards, Amakua doesn't mind and it gets a counter. So now Amakua is going to say something, when you expose a card or breach a server and do not steal or trash any cards, place on virus counter. So you don't actually have to access any cards, you just have to get to the access card step, and that's what breach means. Now, there is a new card, and this is a new card that we're going to see. It's a neutral card, which is always really exciting to see because there's not that many neutral events and anybody can play them. Jailbreak, kick-ass art, pun intended. Run HQ.
Okay, yeah, we get it.
Run HQ or R&D. If successful, draw 1 card. When you breach the attack server, access additional card. So it is a neutral, mini, flexible maker's eye / legwork. And I think that's really cool.
No influence either.
No
They
influence.
could have put it. Yeah, that's nice.
Cost 0, and it gives you card draw, which is fantastic. This is a really neat card. I think in System Gateway, it's definitely going to see play because I think you want as much pressure as you can. I don't know what other pressure cards you're going to get, but this is cool. It's probably playable. The fact that it replaces itself, and you know, you see like shaper lists sometimes that struggle with HQ pressure, or you might have a list that just doesn't have HQ pressure or R&D pressure, and this is an easy way to fill that to an extent without spending influence, which is great. Now, Pat, you mentioned something here interesting with the ruling on this card.
Yeah, so I guess what's interesting, this is almost like a teaching device for System Gateway because it specifies that the successful run step is separate from the breach step. The card says, if successful, draw 1 card, and then when you breach the attack server, you access 1 additional card. If you have a card, if the opponent has a card like Crisium Grid that prevents a successful run from being declared, it will not prevent the additional card from being accessed when you breach.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because breach is separate from success.
So this gets around Crisium Grid, which I think is really funny because it's like it's kind of like Inside Job in a way that you physically go there and do something. I don't know what Crisium Grid's meant to represent, but the fact that you actually, you know, take application of force through local application of force, maybe that makes a bit more sense, but that's interesting. Thanos is asking, how does this card interact with effects? Attack server, how does this interact with effects that cause you to access different servers? It's a bit dependent, but for this, it doesn't really matter because this is a run event, so you can't play this. Oh no, you can play this with Omar. I think it becomes this.
Well, I mean,
yeah, why not?
No, Omar is a clickability.
No, Omar is a clickability. Yeah, never mind. I confused myself halfway through that. But yeah, so
but there are other cards that would affect that.
Yeah, I think it changes to the server that the run is breached on. I don't know. Yeah, Slipstream, right? I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, what incredible turn 1 play, Jason. Yeah, it's not bad. It's like you're not setting up. You see 2 cards off the top of R&D, which gives you information. It replaces itself. It's a run event, so it looks like Ken is also going to be in System Update, which is nice because a 0 cost run event, you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, honestly, this is the kind of card that like I think people could have predicted would have been in System Gateway. Like they will need run events and they will need multi-access. So it makes sense to put them both in 1 card. And adding the card draw effect makes it playable outside of System Gateway. I think that's what's going to make it popular outside of that.
Usually you say that, but like I think this card is way more generous than anyone thought it would be on what it does, right? Like a card that replaces itself, that is a flexible multi-access, that costs 0 and no influence. I am surprised. Like normally these effects would be like, it costs 2, right? Like just so it's on par with these options. The fact that it's 0, no influence, is pretty wild. It's super wild.
It easily could have been 1 influence, and I think that would have been fair, but I think without,
I think if it's 1 influence,
a lot of ways.
No one would have played it.
Right.
Because they would just be like, I'll pay, you know, an extra for these. But the fact it's really good. I'm a big fan of this. Okay. This is a bit wilder. So textual user interface, which is a fun title for this thing. So there's a thing in Netrunner where generally when you have an ice program, an icebreaker, and you want to deal with ice, this is how I teach Netrunner, right? Like you need to make sure the strength of your icebreaker is equal to or higher than the strength of the ice for you to be able to interact with it. But it's not always true because there's cards like this, by the way, Abigail and Gordian Blade, new art, confirmed System Update, that they have paid abilities on it. Specifically like Abigail, this trash to bypass the code gate you're encountering, that you don't need to have equal strength to.
Right.
Which is weird because according to the rules, icebreakers should have to do that. And there's a couple of circumstances where this gets weird. Worm is another weird circumstance because Worm lets you lower the strength of the ice, but for you to be able to do that, you have to actually match the ice strength first, and it gets confusing, right?
Learning how Worm actually works was at one of the devastating moments everyone who bought an original course had.
Yeah, it got a lot worse, a lot worse very quickly. Yeah. So what NISEI is looking to do right now is they're adding a new keyword called interface. And basically they're going to write interface in this hyphen in front of any ability on an icebreaker that cares for you to match strength first. So it's meant to be a reminder that if you want to break a code gate subroutine with Abigail, you have to pay a credit to do that. You pay a credit to do that, but you have to be at strength. Interface means this has to be equal strength before you can use that ability. So Gordian Blade, same idea. They just strap interface with a hyphen before the 1 credit on break code gate subroutine. This is meant to iron out some rules, so there's less questions, but the more I think about it, the more I'm not entirely sold on this. I've seen a lot of arguments about this specifically. I think some people have problems with the way that this is visually displayed. Like they think interface with a hyphen might be ugly. And I do think it's a bit jarring because none of the other text in Netrunner kind of looks like that. Like we don't have hyphens without spaces. This also to me is really weird because it breaks up the kind of symmetry that was there with all the costs are the same.
Yeah. Every other card with multiple paid abilities does not look like this, and it doesn't look great.
Yes. And the idea to me is like this is meant to be simpler for newer players, but I think this, in theory, makes it a bit more complicated and a bit harder to look at. Like now this is, I don't know, you have to start reading words before you get to the cost, whatever. Those might be minor tropes, minor things. But the thing that I don't get, I've heard this example, come up on Reddit, and I think this is true. So the idea that you have to match the strength of a thing to break it, there's actually, there's a subtype for that. Do you know what it is?
There's a subtype for that?
Yeah, there's a specific subtype for a card that has to match strength to be able to interact with a card.
You mean Icebreaker?
It's Icebreaker, exactly. It is Icebreaker.
Yeah.
If you go through the rules of the game, Icebreaker specifically in the rules section says for a card to interact with an ice, it has to match strength. And that's what Icebreaker means. There's other cards that interact with ice, even that break subroutine, but the ones that are not Icebreaker don't care about the strength. They literally don't care. And there's some interesting examples of that. Let's see, Netrunner. Oh man, David is always hard to type up. Like David specifically breaks subroutines. But you notice two things. Firstly, it doesn't have strength and it's not an Icebreaker. So you don't have to match strength. Cool. So that's actually an inherent rule of the game. But what NISEI is trying to do here is they're trying to make it obvious on the card itself so that those rules, is always on the card. You don't have to remember. Now, what I find is I think that it would probably be better, at least for me, and more interesting is instead of labeling the base case, you went and you labeled the exceptions. Right? If you made a keyword that was this ability doesn't care about boosting strength, because again, there's not many in the game right now. It's like 3 or 4. Like it's very small. But if you had an Icebreaker in which an ability didn't care about strength, I would much rather have that be labeled as opposed to have this interface word on every single card. With those, like that's, almost every Icebreaker in the game.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Yeah.
If you went ahead and labeled every exception, then wouldn't you also have to label the strength gaining?
What do you mean?
Because so when you're using an Icebreaker, I guess what I mean is, wouldn't you have to label the strength gaining as you may use this when you're not, even if you're not at strength?
No, because you're not interacting with ice.
No, that's true. Yeah. Right?
Because the rule is if you're interacting with ice, you have to match strength. And honestly, I don't know how they got away with this. Like things like bypass the code gate you're encountering, the fact that does that hold up in the rules at all? Does that hold up in the rules, or is that like a UFAC thing that you don't have to boost strength? Flashbang is another card that you do have to boost strength, and that one's a bit more obvious. But to me, it feels like the fact that we're like 95% of the time it works this way. I'd rather lay the 5% that it is a bit, aberrant. It works a bit differently.
Yeah.
Because also now this, I understand the way that Icebreakers work, but now that I see this and I don't think I'm going to notice that this doesn't say interface in front of it. I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's weird, but the idea is that we have to understand the rules are different if it doesn't say something. Like the absence of a keyword is meant to be the way that we understand how things work. And maybe that just comes with the idea that there's going to be a huge shift in mentality, that the definition of Icebreaker is different. Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen some mock-ups on green level clearance. People make maybe the interface ability is in a little box, so it separates it from the rest of the card, so it's actually a different
I saw those
condition.
I think I've also heard conversations about people saying okay, interrupt got a symbol, why don't you use an interrupt, like a symbol instead of this? But maybe that also makes it complicated. I don't know. Icebreakers need to match strength to boost. This is where it gets wild. Yeah. So that's an idea. You can have an interface section on the cards. I've seen a couple mock-ups, Pat. You did share them, which is neat. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this. I wonder if this is something that's just going to be normalized and get away with it. But I just find it I don't know, adding more text and making it a bit more complicated. I understand that this is really good for rules, because again, I don't understand how this works in the rules, how this is legal. How is this legal? So that's kind of nice. And NISEI's done other stuff like that I'm a really big fan of, like writing 4MU on identities. That's sick, because that's something that's just in the rules that's outside the game. But they're trying to make it so that Icebreaker. But I feel like even if you do this, you probably should have a keyword for non-interface regardless. I don't think interface means that this doesn't need a different keyword, which I don't know. Let me catch up on
Yeah.
chat.
I do like Gordian Blade's new art. I like Abagnale flying through a toll booth. That's a cool idea.
Yeah,
Like
it's really
that's
fun.
art that explains what's happening with the card.
Yeah.
The obviously the flavor text makes me feel faint because as I mentioned before, I do have a phobia of snails.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yo, Latara, how's it going? Maybe interface and override when you don't need a match. Yeah, there's a couple ways to do it. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of
Mhm.
this. I feel like it confuses things. I'd be very interested to hear what new players think. Because again, the fact that this doesn't
That's
line
true.
up. Now, every time you go to Abagnale, it'd be like, okay, what does it cost to break? Like, you have to read through all of this. And I just don't feel like it's that much easier. Abagnale still needs to pay the TV tax. Yep. Because of the encountering timing, right? Yo, Matt, how's it going? Welcome. I missed a whole bunch of chat while I was ranting. Excuse me. Abagnale wasn't really a rules inconsistency before because it explicitly says ignoring strength. Oh, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay,
I didn't
cool.
realize that the old text on Abagnale was different. Also, how does
Yeah.
Ngolo work? Because Ngolo says when you encounter a piece of ice, you may pay 2 credits. That in theory is Ngolo interacting with the ice, but
True.
is it because when encountering you can't boost strength that it doesn't care? Like, why does Ngolo not give a shit?
Yeah, that's a good example.
It also clarifies that paid abilities can be paid whenever. The break abilities are the only abilities in the game that break this. Yes, you can boost whenever you want. It's very, not often useful, but sometimes it is.
Mhm.
Conspiracy breakers won't get eroded. Triggered abilities
Yeah.
ignore strength like Fem. Yeah, but why? What's the difference between a triggered ability and interacting? I don't get that. Anywho, yeah, Fem is a
I
very
like
similar thing.
Yeah, I like Maui Chris. This is like labeling all the non-exit doors, like not an exit, but not labeling the exits.
Yeah, I think the example that like really got me was the idea in like Magic the Gathering. There's a
Mhm.
subtype of card of monster, whatever they're called in Magic, called flying, and flying creatures can't be attacked by non-flying creatures. But they don't make a
Mhm.
subtype called grounded, even though like in theory 95, I don't know what the number is, but the majority of cards are in theory grounded. They just label the flying creatures, and I think that makes a lot more
Interesting
sense to
point. Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Hey, can I have a quick Magic tangent?
Okay.
I actually follow modern Magic cards as they come out. Like I never play Magic, but I actually follow the mechanics because I think it's fascinating to watch this game grow.
Mhm.
And they've added a keyword called split second onto instant cards that break this. That break. So Magic's known for its stack. Like you play an instant, I will play an instant in response to that. Then you play an instant in response to that, and then we go through a stack like going one by one by one. And now they have a new keyword that says split second. This card ignores the stack.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Is that
Anyway,
interesting? Like, does that actually
I,
play
I,
out in a meaningful way?
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that they're actually using the stack in a meaningful way now, and I don't think they've done that for a while.
Apparently, chat's saying
Anyway,
that's
yeah.
actually a couple of years old.
Oh, it's a couple years old. Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm way behind the times.
That's okay.
Well,
Pickwin says, I think this is different interface can be thought of as flying. I think it's the way that I see it is that this is the opposite. Like flying is a thing that goes around the basic rules of the game. And the basic rules of the
mhm,
game are that icebreakers break strength. Like I would say this should be called flying. This is a flying ability,
mhm,
but the top one, break
mhm.
subroutine, is not flying. That's grounded. That's the way I see it. I understand like there's a lot of ways to look at it, and this is the way I see it. And the way I see it is inherently not too important. But yeah, it gets me weird.
Oh, okay. So it's because it's being reprinted now in a new set, but it hasn't been around. It hasn't been as active for a while. That's
Cool.
why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Next
yeah.
rule thing, roots. So there are some weird rulings in Netrunner about what's in a server, what's in front of a server, and then what's in the root of a server. In short, the word root of a server is only referred to central servers having roots, and that's where you can install upgrades in central servers. Now, it
Mhm,
can get confusing because some cards care about what's in a server, but what's in a central server are the cards in HQ in your hand, but not the root, which is not considered to be
yeah.
in HQ. It's in the root of HQ. What NISEI is basically doing, and this actually, I think there are a couple circumstances where this is pretty unintuitive. This is going to
Mhm,
be a bit confusing for people who played the game for a while, but I think this does solve a lot of issues. Is now basically the idea of what's in a server is now called in the root of a server, barring,
mhm,
how do centrals work again? In a server is specifically for centrals. Okay.
mhm.
So the HQ, the deck and discard are in the server, but everything else, and there's going to be, the thing that's going to be confusing here is understanding the NISEI reprints of cards and the I don't know. But here's a good example. Firstly, Santan City Grid. This is new art, which is wild because this is in system update and it isn't like a Nisei Deep Dream art. So there are actually artists outside of Nisei who are working on commissioned art, which is really cool to see. Santan City Grid is also a card that we saw in Salvage Memories, and it's very, very strong. And it looks like it's going to be around this year, which is really cool. And so you see how the wording...
Has it seen a lot of play in Salvage Memories? Like I haven't played a lot of games in the past few months. But
I haven't seen a lot of it, but I reckon like it's in good stuff, but not good stuff that people play on casual JNet. Like it's probably amazing in controlling the message, stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah. Does this mean we're getting Medium and Parasite back in update? No, Solmir, I don't think it definitely means that, but I think they did tease that they were testing some of these cards. So maybe we see other cards from system update. I don't know if we're going to see Medium or Parasite specifically, but we'll see next bronze. Am I right? So Murray Batter wasn't Sansan Grid banned? Right? Yeah, so they rewarded. Yeah, Ben, Sansan City Grid was what was it, banned at some point, or was it just most wanted listed? I forget what they did.
I can't remember what they did back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was in revised core set.
No, it didn't make it outside the original core set. So it rotated really soon. That's definitely true. Yeah, it's been rotated for about 3 years, Jessica says. Yeah, it rotated out of the original core set. But here you see a bit of the new wording. Each agenda in the root of the server gets -1 advancement required. So basically, you'll be installing things in the root of the server. This hopefully makes things a bit more clear. I think for older Netrunner players who are getting back into the game, that might be a bit of a what at first. But hopefully that makes it a bit more obvious. There's just like weird circumstances where this gets in the way. I think one of them is like Warroid Tracker. This one's weird.
Yes, I've seen people argue about that.
Whenever the runner trashes one or more cards in or protecting the server, so if you install this with another upgrade on a central server, it actually doesn't protect that upgrade. That is not intuitive because upgrades are not in servers on centrals, they're in the root of the servers. Stuff like this should iron this out. But I want to see if they're not going to reprint Warroid Tracker, so they'll have their own like errata text or something. I don't know. It's going to be a huge list of erratas because of this root change. Breaking without breakers. This is kind of a rulesy thing because classically, Biroids, the ones that allow you to spend clicks to break things during runs, there's no way in the rules of Netrunner to spend clicks mid-run. You can't spend a click while you're in the middle of spending a click by making a run. So the Biroids seem to be rewarded to be lose a click, which is something that you can choose to do during a run. So now this technically falls within the rules framework in a reasonable way. Also, Ravana 1.0 looks like it's going to be coming back in the system update. I'm expecting...
Which tells us that... that's right, yeah, it tells us that a lot of Biroid ice is probably coming with it, and maybe some Biroid ice in System Gateway.
Yeah. I hope we see Biroid ice in System Gateway, right? But yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see other ice. Like, I don't know, what's been around forever. Like, are we finally gonna say goodbye to Victor? Who knows? Quetzal also, we saw this last week, but it's changed. So now it's 0 credits just to give it a timing structure so that it's easy to use Quetzal within a timing structure of the game, as opposed to like once per turn you may do this, which is a bit, strange. Alternative trash. This is now a new keyword. So this is basically a paid ability you can do while accessing. So Imp, you can use the hosted virus counter while accessing. That was technically a rules anomaly of Netrunner because there's no paid ability during accessing. So how could you use a hosted virus counter on Imp? It's weird. This, I'm also not actually sure how it changes the timing structure of a run. Now there's going to be a window during access or during breach. I guess that's not what we're calling it, where you can use access abilities, which these are not called breach abilities, which is really funny, but I guess it's when you're accessing a single card. Man, the imp art, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I like the imp art here a lot. Also, if they do end up changing anything about how interface looks, they'll probably have to do the same thing with access because it's the same textual idea.
Oh yeah, like access hyphen. Yeah. So
I mean, I'm not sure if they will, but
yeah, who knows? But like this is gonna be wild for them because when everything comes out on the 28th, and I think we're gonna expect like the new FAQ or whatever release notes a couple days after. Usually there's gonna be a shit ton of changes because there's a couple cards that deal with this. There's a lot of cards that deal with root, cards that deal with breach. Like there's a lot of work Nisei must have done to prepare for this. And this is actually interesting because they don't exactly explain what they're going to do, but in short, there were a couple cards in Netrunner that cared when you approach a server. There's also some other weird timing windows, cards like Caprice Nisei that trigger when you pass the last piece of ice, which these cards are really awkward because there's no good window to res them, barring resing them when you encounter the last ice on the server or before the runner makes a run if there's no ice. I'm not going to go too in it, but it's They're going to iron this out. They're definitely going to iron this out. So they're basically going to be able to make upgrades that have different timing windows that can fire like before breach, or when the run's considered successful, but before breach, you can res something, or this will let you res it right before the server successfully ran and stuff like that. That timing window, for what it's worth, does still exist. I'm interested to see whether there's going to be like some sort of upgrade or asset that gives a shit about this in System Gateway, because they're bringing this up but not showing examples. So I don't know whether that's proof of it or proof against it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. And that's largely it. Keep an eye for release notes and comprehensive rules during release week. So that's what we were saying. It'll come out after release. So that week. Juke for Access Spear, what's up? This pre-breach timing window is the one change here that's 100% dope. I think there's a couple ones that are 100% dope, but this one definitely is really good because that window was a bit wonky and it's not very intuitive to players to be like, oh, wait, I had to res Caprice here, or I had to res KP Lin before you ran. Like, there's some weird shit.
KP Lin.
Yeah. Okay. First ID. This is the Wayland reveal. We have 2 reveals. So This is the ID. It's Wayland Consortium. It's built to last. And it's a 4015 Megacorp. All the IDs, mind you, look to be 4015s. I think that's confirmed. And it says, whenever you advance a card, gain 2 credits if it had no advancement counters. Here to stay. What do you think?
I think it's not bad. I think it works with a lot of things Wayland likes to do, which is advance, obviously, small agendas like Hostile and Ice sometimes. Like, I think you can gain a lot of benefit from it. This makes advancing a card worth better than just clicking for a credit.
It makes it equal to, it's because you get a credit because of the refund. So it's like clicking for credit plus.
Yeah. And I think it could be fun as a rush ID, especially with a bunch of tiny agendas. And half the ability, like being a 40 card deck in and of itself is an advantage. So I think even though the ability itself may not be like mind blowing, I think that combined with the 40 card deck makes it, I think, worthwhile. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I've seen a lot of people really excited about this, and this is a big caveat. Is like we have seen no other Wayland cards in system gateway so far.
We might be able to guess about what's coming because of this card.
Yes, I think we're gonna have to, because now, if this released today in standard, I think this is the worst Wayland ID since Because We Built It. I do, which is wild, because we have to talk about some real stuff here, and we have to talk about, because I think there's definitely gonna be stuff at System Gateway, which means that's not a thing. Okay, so the idea is that you advance a thing, you gain a credit. So they also compared this, like the gain 2 credits, that's like similar to, they compared it to like Sports Metal and Asmari EdTech. And yo, Eric, what's up?
I think it's like, I think, no, never mind. I think there's a favorable comparison with Sports Metal, which is that you get an advance on the money that you would have gotten with Sports Metal, but yeah, otherwise not anywhere close.
The thing that's different to me is like Sports Metal as Asmari EdTech trigger without you spending a click. They don't always trigger, but they trigger clicklessly, which is a big deal. Because this, you have to spend a click and you have to spend a credit advancing Ice. And there's a big rule thing here. It's whenever you advance a card. And I don't think there's going to be changes. Exactly. I don't know if there's going to be changes to the rules, but things like wall-to-wall don't work. Because wall-to-wall, I keep hyphenating that. It's never hyphenated. I'm too used to intercept now. Cards, the majority of cards, there's only one single card in the game that actually advances cards, and it's success. It's a very bad card. These place 1 advancement token. So this is not going to give you 2 credits. It really isn't going to give you 2 credits, right? Like that would be sick. This would be so good, but it doesn't do that. So you actually have to physically spend a click to advance your card, which again makes it similar in the same way that like Hyobo Precog Manifold, not Hyobo Precog Manifold, but the Hyobo Institute is like meant to be a better version of clicking for credit. But I don't think we want to get a better version of clicking for credit. We want to do something a bit more than that. Now, what's cool about this is it does fire when you score agendas and NGO fronts. So let's say that we're going to score out a couple agendas in a game, maybe advance 2 NGO fronts. This gives you 7 credits throughout the whole game. 7, 8 credits, maybe. That's really bad. So you also want to be advancing other stuff. So are we advancing Ice? We have to advance Ice that don't have advancement tokens on it. So we need Ice that gets considerably better with a single advancement. Right now, there's none of that in the game. Making your Ice Wall 2 strength, making your Colossus 5 strength, it doesn't really matter. And you're basically clicking for a credit at that point. So that seems really bad. That doesn't seem good. You can do traps, like maybe you can now tempo out a bit more traps, things like, I don't know, is the contract killer around, stuff like that. I guess it makes it cheaper, but again, not very compelling. Like if you're just doing that, you're gonna make maybe 9 credits throughout a game. You're a 40 card deck, but I think we need to do is we need to see the rest of the cards to come with the set. I think the one thing that this card needs to be really good is either an asset or an operation that literally advances cards, not places advancements. As soon as you have that, say you get like a new shipment from Kaguya that actually like not places advancement, but advances cards. That's cool because that's like 5 credits, right? Like it's like a new hedge fund, stuff like that I could see. But I think the biggest deal, and they did talk about this, they did talk about new ice coming out, specifically also like Pharaoh's, a new Wonder Ice. So we need ice that is way better once it's powered up with advancement counter. And we also need ways to take power counters or advancement counters off of ice so that it's opened again. Because once you advance all your ice once, this thing does nothing, right? It literally does nothing. 10 credit NGO front though, yeah, fine. But like, that's fine. Like if you want to get money, I'd play the outfit or anything else. 3 NGO in front, 3 hostile. You don't score 3 NGO front and 3 hostile in a game though. You don't. Anyways, yeah, we need something like 1 advance adds a subroutine, or we need an ice that when it's rezzed on encounter, you can use the advancement to do something impactful. So then it's empty, and then you could consider re-advancing it, but that advance has to be good because advancing ice generally is pretty bad. And then
someone's saying your math might be wrong because it gives 2 back, not 1.
Yeah, so but you pay 1 for the advancement.
But you would be doing that anyway.
Yeah, but doing that's bad. Like that's the big thing about Netrunner. It's like advancing ice is not a winning strat out of barring another ability like Builder of Nations, which is no longer my least favorite Wayland idea. I'm not okay. Look, I'm excited for this, but this needs a shit ton of card support for it to be like competitive. But at the end of the day, maybe that's not exactly what everyone wants. It's only good. This is good. Sorry.
No, I sorry. You go first, then I'll chime in.
I was just going to say that this is really good if there's ice that really wants a single advancement. Because if I'm just getting tempo for like triple advancing my Hordem, count me out. I'm never going to triple advance a Hordem like that. Yeah, just because you don't want to manually advance ice normally. You don't. You generally don't want to do that. And I'm interested to see whether this actually encourages like, I'm going to call them bad play patterns, but like that's like competitive Netrunner elitism bullshittery. But like, if players are just there advancing their ice and then they play mass comps, then I get salty, which is a different issue. That's probably not good for you. If you advance an ice, you're usually 1 credit down. Now you're 1 up. Net gain 2 credits. This idea is actually pretty good. You're not, well, if this was a built-in identity on every time you advance an ice for the first time, I don't think it would make me want to advance any ice. Like there's just no ice currently in the game. And that's again, the hugest caveat is we don't know what's going to be in System Gateway, that advancing it is actually worth the click, let alone gaining a credit. Like to me, it feels exactly like Hyobu, where like this is better than clicking for credit and you can use that information, but nobody plays Hyobu because it's generally not worth it.
Yeah.
If clicking for a credit is good, we got bigger problems with standard. Yeah. Yo, Says, what's up? What do we need to click for credits for?
Yeah. There's something that we were discussing on the Montreal Slack channel is like, what if there is ice that spends the advancement tokens on itself to do special things?
As soon as you get that. Yeah.
Like if you worthwhile.
If you have an ice that has like parenthetical advance text on the subroutines, or like gets like a gatekeeper, like +3 strength on this encounter if you eat an advancement token off of it.
Exactly.
Like, that starts to be interesting. If the ice is good and it's actually worth advancing, and not only you're doing that, but you're doing that at tempo gain, that's okay. And sure, you're going to score maybe 4 agendas and win the game, so there's an extra 4 credits for your advancements. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to take some work. It needs cards that are good with a single advancement and also can unadvance themselves meaningfully. I'm glad it's not super strong though. Get a simple beginner ID. Yeah, the thing is I'm worried about a beginner ID if it's going to encourage you to be like, oh, I'm going to advance this and advance this and advance this, and it doesn't actually do much for your board state. But it does let you play that. Sorry, Pat?
I mean, like Thanos is saying, like, if you only use on 5 agendas plus 2 NGOs, it's 14 credits.
No, it's not.
Right? Yeah, it is.
Well,
because you would those are cards. Those are cards you would be advancing anyway. You like ice. I can see you not wanting to advance, but agendas and NGOs.
Yes, you're right.
Definitely do.
Okay.
And like chances are you try to score 4, maybe 1 or 2 get stolen. That's like you're advancing at least.
You're right.
Let's
say
7 cards. Yeah, like
that's totally
bad.
true. If you're advancing agendas, you actually do get straight credits because you're going to advance that anyways, which is different, I think, than ice, which is my argument, because advancing ice is generally a bad thing, and trying to make the bad thing slightly better still, to me, makes it the bad thing. But that's a very valid point. If you're advancing agendas, my math is actually considerably off. You do get 2 credits, which you wanted to advance the agendas anyways. So that's okay. Okay. Yeah, that's all right, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next card.
Yeah, D&D sake, I think competitively will be mostly used in Rush. That's the thing, is like trying to rush, like 40 card decks also is like totally worth mentioning. 40 card decks honestly give me a hard time to evaluate. Smaller decks are generally considered way better. I feel like smaller decks make deck building a bit more restrictive and a bit more homogenous, just because your wild 46th card generally doesn't get into there. You also have to play advanceable ice, hopefully the good advanceable ice. So a lot of these decks are going to be very similar, which is a problem right now. I think with Wayland advanceable ice decks, there's only like 4 pieces of ice. Not that HB is any different, or meh, I guess we know what the good ice is. But yeah, smaller deck is good. Yes. Yes. Turning each agenda into a mini Oaktown. Yeah, it's only the first advancement, so it's like slightly mini Oaktown. Oaktown, though, is nice.
Yeah.
This idea makes NGO better isn't like a stellar argument. No, it's not amazing. It's not amazing. But 4015 is not bad. Anyways, I get fired up about this. And again, like if you think boo on Andre, he's really negative about this. I'm really excited for this card. I'm really excited to play this card, but like I'm excited to see the support this gets, because right now if it came out today, I don't think it would be very good. But again, we've seen no Wayland cards, and they even like hinted at some. So like, sign me up. I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. I am.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the names they give the cards they're hinting at? Like there's Pharaohs.
Pharaohs. Yeah, which is a wonder ice, so it looks like it's going to get the parenthetical text treatment. Oh, not actually. Yeah. No, that's not entirely true, because Aket and Colossus do it differently.
Sure. They mention
a lot of cards we know, like wall-to-wall dedication, mass comms, red play, and couriers. Wait, sorry, what was that?
The clearinghouse in the last paragraph, and
oh yeah, there's an agenda too. Yeah, clearinghouse, and there's an agenda I think that they mentioned.
Yeah, for some reason my eyes are slipping over it, but I remember
above the law night. Agendas, some smaller agendas like above the law, which might be a 1-2, a 0-1, a 1-3. Sorry, it's behind my faces, you can't see it.
Yeah.
And Project Atlas. Yeah. All right.
So and also the reason I think, I'm not going to put money on it, but the reason I think that system update will include cards that aren't rotated already is because they're being mentioned in this in this text. Like cards like Audacity is not due to rotate for a long time. But I think it could be a good card to include in system update. Because if a new player is going to buy a playset of cards, we might as well give them some power cards that define.
The problem is like the way I see it, right? Like this is meant to be the fundamental backbone, and so like how many cards are there going to be for Wayland? Like 9, maybe 9 probably is generous. And does Audacity make one of those slots? Like we have to assume Project Atlas is hopefully in right, like in right. So that's a slot. Maybe there's another agendas. We know Punitive is in. We know Ice Wall is in. So like those slots like get eaten really quickly. So when they post those cards, will they turn those into links? Yo, Convex, that's actually a really good question. I honestly don't know. D&D says I don't think any non-rotated cards will be an update. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think they did that for the other one because, but yeah, I don't know. Update isn't meant to last 12 months, I don't think. It likely lasts through the rotation after this one, like System Core 19 did. Yeah, so maybe it doesn't. We'll see. This is Rush Job, which is flavor text that kind of goes, well, it directly does go along with the new Wayland ID. If you want to read this, I read it. I enjoyed it. It talks about Roughneck Repair Squad folk and the people that run them, and it's pretty interesting. Okay, Pat.
Okay, here we go.
Fucking hell yeah. Tau, Salonga, Telepresence Magician, an Identity Natural 4015. Whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, you may swap 2 installed pieces of ice. Sufficient skill is indistinguishable from magic. I love the magic kind of underlined that goes through a lot of Shaper stuff.
That's a great quote. I like the twist on Arthur C. Clarke's law there.
Yeah. This, on the other hand, I'm fucking stoked about. This looks sick. The top comment on Reddit right now is that the Rubik's Cube is a lot easier when all sides are cyan, which is a pretty good comment. I do like that.
That's probably just the way he sees it, which makes it harder, actually.
He brings it
right?
in.
Because he's seeing it only in blue scale.
Yeah.
Which means he has to go by like texture.
Yeah, which is they do have that. Have you ever seen like a textured Rubik's Cube for those who are visually?
Oh, cool. Of course, that makes sense. I hadn't even considered that would exist, but that makes total sense.
They're super rad.
Interesting.
So a big thing about Tau, and this is why we've seen in what's called Pantograph, is that they control stuff through telepresence, so they can control mechanics remotely. That's why, I don't know, these diodes seem to be strapped to his head. So he has a rig. And if you read the narrative that came out today as well, you understand that he's actually in like a exoskeleton, like in Alien, right? Or what have you. This ability slaps.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. I think they make a great point in the article introducing it that like that kind of ability, like Escher or Cordyceps, that often becomes like the 46th card in a 45 card deck, and it's the one thing that gets cut. But putting it as an ID ability, like we saw in the Ocarina tournaments, kind of makes it compelling.
Yes. Yeah, they actually mentioned Ocarina in the article, which is really fun to see. But so we've actually seen a lot of cards in Shaper that do something similar to this. Sure, 5 Influence did actually see some clutch play at certain periods of time, generally for combo decks, stuff that was going all in on R&D in one turn or Keyhole back in the day, right? We've seen Inversificator, which at some point was actually restricted because it was considered a very powerful card. And even since it was unrestricted, we haven't seen a lot of it, even though I'm convinced it's really strong. I'm convinced Cordyceps with Nabakiri is really strong, but I've been proven wrong. And there's also this 4 credit card that lets you swap 2 unresed ice, which is unplayably bad. This is such a cool ability.
I think he's cool.
Yeah. So in short, it's like very, very flexible. I think there's a lot of things you can do with this. The coolest thing is that it fires when it's scored or stolen. So you're putting people in that sort of the choke point. If they want to score at their 5-3 that they triple advance, you get to swap 2 pieces of ice and then with Pantograph even install something on top of it. So you're going to have these huge swings where it's like suddenly, okay, I know you can't afford this ice. I'm going to put on R&D. I'm going to install some crazy R&D multi-axis and I'm going to slam in. I'm going to put a Cubon down. I'm going to put a turning wheel and be able to build pressure here. I'm going to be able to fuck up your positional ice. There's so much good positional ice in the meta right now. Things like Surveyor, fuck off, block, border control, Afshar, all the Wayland stuff, putting Data Raven. If you can pressure someone on archives and then they put some like Slot Machine archives and you say, okay, you're scoring remote, it's now Slot Machine and your Anansi's on archives. What the fuck do they do? Like, that's crazy. With Pantograph, you can do stuff with like the bird attack card, Cyber Trooper. You can get down Gordian Blade for cheap code gates in a row. You can get down Oiler on the turn, it breaks code gates at 0, and you can do some buck wild stuff. This is so flexible, it's so interactive, it makes the corp think. 10 out of 10.
And like people are saying in chat, like Leela allows the corp to put the ice back where they want. This card says, no, I decide where it goes, and it's stuck there unless you have Thimble Rig. Or some other expensive Jinteki card.
Thimble Rig's going to be really good to be able to fix this, but there's no other way to do it. It's also going to be unfortunate because like positional ice was something that Netrunner is trying to push for a while, and generally the positional ice has been considered pretty bad just because it requires certain draws and then you have to put them in the right order, and this will continually stomp on that, which is unfortunate. But oh my god, like there's so many ways to do this. Like, do you make R&D as porous as possible and slam on R&D? Do you just say, okay, you're scoring behind ice, well now your remote server is like I don't know, Quandary, Vanilla's a thing, right? Oh man, it's so good.
Put the Surveyor on a tiny server. It's gonna be great. Like people are saying that like it depends on the matchup, because this is like if you're playing against a matchup that doesn't have much ice, sure, the ability's not going to fire, but against that kind of deck isn't playing the same game of Netrunner you are anyway.
Right. It's definitely matchup dependent, but like in the same way it feels like Kit is matchup dependent, right? Like if you don't have a lot of ice, Kit's ability is still relevant. Like if they're playing tour guides, fuck it, they're on archives now. Like you can still do pretty good stuff. I'm aware it's not gonna be as strong as somebody who's running like both cheap code gate and huge code gate, and you can really goof with them. It's also interesting to know whether D-Res is going to be really good, because when you D-Res, then you can put them in an awkward position where re-res is unfortunate. Expose maybe will be powerful. I don't know. It's like
using Deuce's Wild for the expose ability and run might be fun.
I'm super stoked for this. This looks really, really, really fun. 10 out of 10.
I think Tao's going to have a telepresence in the game going forward.
And my favorite thing, if they advance their ice wall and build to last, I'm going to put on archives, you know? Yo, Lamilla, how's it going? Enjoy your sleep, eh? Get some rest. Glad you can drop in. Inversicate versus Angola is a losing matchup. Yes, fair enough. Love this card. It's great, isn't it? It's not res nor unres. It's any ice. Yes, it's so good. Archangel, that's technically positional. Data Raven's a big thing in that matchup. If they're doing like Data Raven to quantum predictive model, or like you can goof up Acme decks, a double install ice. Like you can do a lot. Fucking Surveyor on HQ with nothing. You swap Surveyor and Afshar on the HQ and the remote. Jesus. I'm so cries and Maramati. Oh, Marcus. ID feels pretty skill intensive. That also is very skill intensive, what I'm a big fan of. Tau would be great with turning wheel. Yeah, moving border controls off scoring remote. So it's going to be interesting to see whether the meta has good stuff for turning wheel. Also, to get a good turning wheel deck is another thing. Like, we need something that's good enough that only has an end the run. And there's not that many of those in the game right now. So like something like Gold Farmer was a good example while it lasted. It was a card that was going to show up pretty consistently in some decks that people will play, and then you can punish the positioning, which is really, really cool. This will be used like 5 to 6 times per game. But the thing is also like Leela, you can get snowball potential. Like, sure, Leela is really strong at being able to bounce when they like install double advance and remote and you hit a central. But the idea is you can put shitty ice on R&D, then run R&D and get the ability to trigger again. And on top of this, as opposed to Leela, it's a May. So if you're in an awkward board position where you don't want to swap the ice, you don't have to, which is also really, really nice. Convex seems like a really good point. Seems like a worthy Haley replacement. It is, but the cool thing about this too is it's not playing the sort of shaper efficiency game. Like, there's no built-in economy. Hopefully that the economy is just runs are cheaper in the future. But it's really cool. Yeah, Power Guy seems closer to a Leela replacement than a Haley. This is dope. Big fan of this. Huge. Yeah. They also mentioned a couple new cards, if I'm not mistaken. Conduit?
Conduit?
Let me find it, which I don't know, guys. Conduit. This is medium, right?
As you pointed out, it is synonymous with medium.
Yeah.
As in the phrase, did you rent an apartment or did you buy a medium?
Oh, boy. I don't know. The idea of like the medium or the conduit, like I play maybe too much Mysterium, but like this
that conduit.
This is a new R&D pressure card, which again, like this sort of deck needs. Whether medium is or isn't in the future, we'll figure out. I don't know if there's other names that were dropped. Pantograph we saw, which is really cool. Pantomelian.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I see any others.
Wait, no, Chameleon probably won't work because it returns at the end of a turn or your turn. I'm not actually sure. I have to check on it. Anyways, what do we have tomorrow, man? I closed the schedule, but we have Jinteki, sick. And then after that, we have a bunch of, we're going to see all of them. I'm really, really, really stoked. This has been so cool. Again, I'm sorry I'm dunking on the Wayland one. It needs card support, but like I'm so excited to see new cards regardless. Oh yeah, Chameleon rotates. Oh.
Oh man.
Your friend wrote this article with this one or the next one? Because this is also RC. I assume wrote this, not posted this. It's unclear what the byline goes to, but this is also interesting.
Yeah, and I think they also wrote the fiction that's on the Patreon, which is connected to this story.
Sick. Okay. I gave this one a read, and it gives you a bit of like, I like the idea that when you interact with a character, the Tau one, sick. This like gives you a bit of insight on how this person thinks, which is really cool to see, because then you kind of know the like you feel like you have a connection with the character better, which is nice instead of you projecting onto it, I guess. Dope, great, fantastic. I'm so excited. Again, it's a loaded month. Yeah.
If I could say something about the lore for Tau that they have here, it's actually one of my favorite kind of tropes. Is you have a major, like Tau is the major character that you want to know more about, but he's introduced through the eyes of someone else. You don't see his own day-to-day. You see someone else like seeing him and being in awe of him, which I think is a very cool way of presenting a new character.
That reminds me of that one Netrunner lore book where Max shows up, but she's not the main character. Did you read that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the Lee Alexander one.
Exactly, yeah. The same sort of idea.
Monitor, I think.
Yeah, Monitor. That's exactly it. Cool. Other new stuff I want to plug really quick. So Ed, who you might know as Cook_Ed, has been streaming daily cast. This just started like a couple days ago. You can find this on twitch.tv/Cook_Ed. He's streaming for about an hour every day. The scheduling is like 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm pretty sure, but he hangs out. He usually has a guest, goes for an hour. You can hang out in the chat. I've caught one so far and it's been pretty great, which is fantastic. So do check that out. That's going on all month, which is awesome. It's so perfect to coincide to have a place to talk about Netrunner stuff on the days when there's news every day, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
The other cat's perfect way to end the workday. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. That's so cool. Also want to shout out, and I can't believe we haven't shouted this out earlier. D&D is generally like in chat. They might be right now, but D&D DMBD, I'm never going to get that correctly, has been writing these Ashes reviews of the whole Ash cycle. So both Uprising and what is the other part of Uprising called?
Downfall.
They have been basically
Downrising and Upfall.
Downrising and Upfall, of course. They've been writing reviews. Basically, this one's a bit of a spoiler because it's kind of a, oh no, this is just the Wayland one. There's one that was a recap of everything, but they've been going through Reddit, been going through every single card that NISEI basically released of the last 120 cards, I guess, a bit more, talking about what they think about theme, design, strength. It's really cool. There's good conversations on top of this. After it, D&D, thanks, Andre. No, of course. I've been reading through, I think I've got through most of these on Reddit, which is fantastic, but you can read through it, hear their opinions. It's pretty fun. Just have the conversation about it too. There's also like some cool lore stuff, and like we never did proper reviews of these cards, but generally when that was a thing we did, we would like Google the card and go into a bit more of the lore of what things were named after what. And I missed a whole lot of stuff because I never did the research. It's really cool to see this. So check this stuff out. Last thing, and this is, I'm so stoked about this. This happened today out of nowhere. They updated Netrunner DB, and there's a couple things you're going to start seeing. Firstly, these titles are a bit different. I almost forgive you for dunking on the new Wayland ID. I really hope that we see more Wayland cards, and it seems really good. So a couple things happen. The way things are formatted is a bit different, where you get the text like this and you get the numbers. I think this is really sexy. This looks really nice. But another thing that's really, really cool, and this was a problem because this was actually getting confusing when it came to Netrunner DB, is that there's a bunch of cards that have multiple printings. A lot of times it's because it showed up in a set and then showed up in a different set. So for instance, Cerebral Overwriter, you now have this tab here that goes through all the printings. So I can go to the Creation and Control Cerebral Overwriter, which now lets me scroll directly through Creation Control, or I can go to the Uprising Cerebral Overwriter. And it also has like the new flavor text. Like this is a totally separate text entry, and it's really easy to get to. This also here is really fascinating because it says English. So I wonder whether we're going to see multiple languages worth of cards, or whether that's a setting behind the scenes that you can actually change. But this is sick. Netrunner DB is obviously such a huge tool, and the fact that they're making it easier and easier to use, especially in this like confusing situation with multiple print runs. 10 out of 10. Cool. I think we got through the news, Pat.
That's really cool. I think that's great.
I need some water now. How's everyone else's spoiler weeks been? Steven, my wife thinks Tao's chin looks like a Stonks meme guy. I don't know if I exactly know who he was, but he does have a really strong chin. Prediction, and that deck will be some kind of mass comms deck that Andre hates. That is one of my big issues, is that this thing is screaming to me mass comms Red Planet Couriers, just like NISEI went out the way and told all the new players that they can do that, and that stuff makes me salty.
Oh, Red Planet Couriers works with this ID though, because it lets you refresh your ability, right? Of slowly putting advanced tokens on each of your ice.
Yay.
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 Yeah, yay.
Oh boy. Anyways, if they change the rules that like placing an advancement becomes advancing, oh my god, that thing shoots to the roof.
Oh yeah, of course. Space Camp, you put 3 of those in archives, all of a sudden you're making 6, well, you're making 2 credits.
Yeah, Chris, JTFQ saying when you play RPC, you want to win. Yeah, that's generally what happens. I want to see a tempo where they like do it just to put it all on the Colossus, and then they can start advancing their ice walls again, and then you boomerang the Colossus. It's going to be sick, dude. My first Scoops week ever, loving it. Yo, Spray, glad you, it's cool. Been so good because it's been such a long time since we've seen this stuff, and so far the stuff has been like worth the wait. It's been really good.
Yeah, it's been more than a year since the last new stuff came out.
Yes, it's been a while.
And like, I'm so happy that I'm seeing, like, I do hang out in Green Level Clearance, the Discord server that's helpful for new Netrunner players. And like, it's nice to see a steady stream of new players coming in, or lapsed players coming back, asking what's going on, or like I'm seeing people talk about this on Twitter and things like that.
Yeah, no, I dived into Green Level Clearance today, and it's really nice. I'd recommend you to check it out, especially if you're a new player. But it's been real chill. I should have got that in a long time ago. Jessica, I did want to mention that Hollywood Renovation is rotating. I know you're an SSO fan. What do you do? Do you play that thing that lets you install cards face up because you can't play the NBN one? That also rotates.
Oh yeah, Casting Call, right?
Yeah, Casting Call rotates. Stoppable. Hey, you said you wanted a card that removes advancement tokens from cards. Somewhere a monkey's paw curled. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I once RPC'd only a City Works when I only had a hostile scored and had like 15 counters, so I could sit and charge up the rest again. Yo, hitting our like big old for what it's worth. Oh, it was City Works. Yeah, right. But hitting up the old Hollywoods were really fun when you had a battery. If you move the ice, does it lose advancements? Nope. If you return it to hand, it does. But if you reposition it, no. If you derez it, neither. both of those will keep it. The only way that it'll lose advancements is if it's just trashed or returned to hand. Yeah. They're sort of okay Oaktown SSO decks. Oh fuck.
I don't see how, because like just getting 2 advancement tokens
it's not enough
on an ice like Horton is not. Then you have to spend another click or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
at least it works with mass comms, right?
It works with mass comms. You play like Misfingo, Colossus. Maybe you can pay 3 for your like space ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. That's fine. Oaktown is bad in SSO. Yeah, I know. Underway renovation. Yo, actually that rotating bums me out because underway rotation is like very close to being like, we need something that gets free advancements, which the new Wayland doesn't exactly do, so that we can like tempo out continually.
Yeah, have a proper mill deck that isn't Perfection Unleashed or whatever that Jinteki ID was.
Yeah. Okay, Pat, it's only 10:30. We don't have a lot of time to do that, but I promise today we play Geist, and we're going to play a big deck Geist. So that means we're going to try to do 99 cards. We're going to do everything with the trash can. We're going to play Hostage. We're going to play all the good cards, and we're going to try and make a consistent bad Geist deck. Geist was just proven to be a really competitively unviable identity, and so I think we're going to have a real breakthrough here.
Oh yeah, finally someone's going to treat Geist the way he's been waiting. On Discord, my handle is Scorpy, SCORPI. So you can say hi. I will make an effort to like actually join in on conversations more often. Mostly I've just been hanging out in the spoiler discussions channel because that's where people were like breaking through the scrambled pantograph image. And I was just following along with that.
Oh, cool.
But, yeah.
Yeah, you're.
I will try to contribute more.
You're self-modifying code, right?
Yeah, that's my icon is self-modifying.
Cool. I love SSO. It'll be a sad day. It really will. It's going to be rough. Okay, so somebody probably knows how to do the filter to find the trash can. Yeah, what is the filter for NetRunnerDB trash can? Yeah, do it up, man. So we're going to start here, right? We'll do all the cards that we know are good in Geist. Tech Trader, we need Hostage because it's probably important to find our Tech Traders and we don't actually have to shuffle the deck. Is it X trash? No. Oh. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be just right. No, that might be it. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, okay, cool. So 3 boomerangs. Flip switch, I guess we're playing it. Forger, you were playing it. Recon drone. 1. Spy camera 6, titanium ribs, not exactly. Unregistered SNW, not exactly. Okay. We'll do the programs really quickly. Should give it trash cans in addition to cards with trash in the text. Yeah, it'll give us both, which is totally fine. Abigail, yes. Amakua, we probably should play it. Bankroll, yes, it counts. Crowbar, 100%. Damara, 100%. Fairy, doesn't have a trash on it. I'm not going to play it. Yo, Grappling, Shiv, Spike, Tapworm.
Ooh.
Doesn't have a trash on it. Worry, doesn't have a trash on it.
Doesn't have a trash on it.
Okay, resources. A Bachlan Botchkin, 3 of. Bug Out Bag, Louis Guillermo, Miss Bones. Muertos Gang Member, unfortunately, 3 of.
People have made good use of that.
Yeah, you know, Muertos Gang Member is good. The thing is, like, it's not a good top deck in a 100-card deck. Slipstream, no. The back, we're not going to play it because, like, we have 100 cards. We're not going to do that to ourselves. Deck title, Garbage Day, yeah. Tapworm is still good, though. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll just see where we are first, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Forger. So that is neutral. So now we have to start adding things that are just good.
Oh, you already have 4.
Sorry?
That's right. I was just going. I didn't realize you already. I'm catching up.
Okay, so other things that we definitely want to add to the deck is, we'll find out here. E3 Feedback Plants is probably worth it, considering we have Spike, Shiv, Boomerang. We're probably going to play Kangamata Gabali, so I'm going to put 3 E3 in there. Masterwork is really important because it is more card draw, and we're going to play a fair bit of hardware, and this lets you, get through it and install it cheaper? No, that's as. More expensive. Moo Safecracker, Prognostic Q Loop, 3 of. I'm going really fast here just because it's way later than we thought it'd be. Swift, Gauntlet.
Yeah, I've got a question if you don't mind me going back to the news.
Yeah, no.
Why isn't the ability on Imp an interrupt ability rather than a special new access keyword?
Because I don't know how interrupt works.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
Sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Because in theory, it's a paid ability, but it's not an interrupt because an interrupt prevents something else from happening, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
I don't know, but like, it's really unfortunate. I used to be very good when it comes to those rules minutia, and at some point, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, bravado seems good. Credit kiting, diversion of funds, that's a 3 of. Early bird, easy mark, honestly, we'll probably just play because we need enough economy in the deck. Like, we'll probably play Armitage or Caddy Jones. Like, we have to play garbage, just like in the, well, not garbage, but stuff that would be surprising in the list, just like the, what's it called, the max deck. Emergency shutdown, exclusive party. That's really rough when you can't you're gonna draw like 3 of them reliably. Falsified credentials, yeah, fine. It's a good enough card. Fisk.
Well,
what do you think about Fisk?
Fisk is gonna be great.
Yeah, Fisk
Well,
is
what
gonna
about
be great.
making an entrance? I know that we're already talking. That's gonna be influence already, but trashing top cards of your deck.
At that point, shouldn't we just play Rolodex? Or that's not what Rolodex works like, right? Easy mark allowed, but not fairy. Yeah, because easy mark gives you credits for our other cards. I hear you though. Spot the prey, special order. Yeah, I guess we have to play special order. Spearfishing. I think we actually have to play that. Push your luck. Planned assault. Planned assault is kind of worth playing, right? Because we can get diversion. We can get inside job.
Yeah, true. Yeah, planned assault's definitely worthwhile on 100 cards.
Okay, we're at 90 cards. That's cool. Okay, so what else can we play out of faction that's good? Or actually, we should do this first. Nothing is looking incredibly strong. Probably 2 missed bones, maybe even 3. D99, yo, D99 is actually really good.
Yeah.
That's too much influence though. Kangamato. Gabahali. Is District 99 better than Simulchip? Probably not, considering we have all of these like Abigail Damara. Right? Class Act, yeah, that's very good. Rosetta 2.0. That's playable. That's honestly playable. Paul up 3 of is it had a trash on it. I got carried away. I'm sorry. Okay, we're at 103 cards. How do we spend 3 influence? Oh, Street Peddler.
Oh yeah, do you have extra link other than Forger? Like, do you have a Sports Opera?
No. Is Sports Opera good? The back? No, we can't. So we don't have enough economy, right? Like, we have to end up playing like Caddy Jones. We have to play daily casts. What else is like good criminal economy? Do we? I think we actually end up playing Trimorph, right?
Oof, yeah.
Dirty Laundry is playable. Sure Gamble is definitely should be in the list.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our breaker suite is a bit lacking. Like, we don't have a permanent sentry breaker. Okay, we have to start making some cuts for sure. Planned assault. Okay, I'm gonna cut the spearfishings. I'm gonna cut forgers. We're probably not gonna. If we get our masterwork down, they're useless. Prognostic Q loop is probably not worth it. We have 32 events. That's probably bad. We did play Recon Joan, but it's not gonna make it. Bachlan Boschkin is 3 of is a bit much.
If Masterwork is your go-to console, you might as well put Sports Opera in there just to get more hardware, right? Like, then it becomes even more valuable.
I just don't know if we're gonna ever afford Sports Hopper.
Sports Hopper is basically quality time at that. You draw 5 cards for 3 credits. One of which you draw ahead of time, and it gives you the MU space.
I don't know if we can afford. Does Wasteland work? It does. I just don't know if we can literally afford sports like quality time. What's money? I think we just don't have enough money. Because if we don't draw a check jitter, we're fucked. Like, here we go. Draw 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is hostage still in the game?
Yeah, we have 3 hostage.
Okay.
So this is honestly like a competitive hand, right? Like, you draw 1.
Yeah, against all odds.
You draw 1. Sure Gamble daily cast, but we have no trash cans. So, you know, that's a problem. So maybe Sports Opera is good for that. We drew a tech trader, spy camera cycle, Trimorph install. This is really good. Now we also don't have multi-access, which is probably the bigger issue.
Yeah.
So we have to play what, like 2 legwork. We have to play Turning Wheel.
Are there any trash can multi-access cards? That should be a thing, like a resource you can trash to access additional cards.
Yeah, it's that Anarch one with Hoshiko on it, but I don't think it actually has a trash can because it removes from game, I think. There used to be climactic. Yeah, there used to be an ONR as far as I'm sure. But yeah, this one removes from game. It's also 5 influence for some reason.
Oh man, climactic showdown could have been such a better card.
Yeah. So I guess we cut 2 simul chips, but simul chips seems really good. It's just like we can't win without multi-access. And Criminal doesn't have multi-access besides HQ interface, which is probably better than legwork. That's a
with a masterwork, probably.
Yeah, with a masterwork, right? Fuck. We probably play Sneak Door if we play HQ interface, right?
At this, you really need extra link though.
Why?
Because if you're going with the breaking and entering suite, like they rely on you having multiple icebreakers out there, and you're not going to have the MU for them with only a masterwork.
I don't think we're going to draw enough of these for that to be a problem.
I agree. I'm trying to make it. Yeah. Okay.
Spy cams help to know when to run. Yeah, spy cam is the closest we have to multi-access for sure. But the problem is like we're going to use them for tempo. So we're at -3 influence, so we can cut like a simul chip and a peddler. Peddler seems really good. Do we cut 2 simul chips? Oh, that feels bad. And then what do we put for a link? Do we play DJ Fenris to become Haley? I think we need more money.
Simul chip seems so essential.
What's with these hands? Tech Trader Masterwork opening hand?
Oh yeah, as a chat is saying, have you thought about Sports Hopper?
Huh. Yeah, it's in there. 3 of.
Oh, okay, okay.
We got there. We got there. No, we got there.
No, I'm just being an asshole. I don't know.
Okay, like this is playable. Stim hack is not the worst because we do have Street Peddler. Sure gamble. Probably draw here. Install Sports Hopper. Gachapon is like 2 influence.
Okay.
Use Rosetta Stone for Reaver. Oh man, that's 4 influence though. Like, do we just play Wastelands? I don't even know if we have enough trash can abilities. Oh, these are 2 influence of pop. Never mind. Cash is good with Rosetta. Yeah, but you can't pull it. But I see what you mean. Cash is fine. The thing is like we might have MU issues and or we only have 2 Rosetta, so we're not even committing to it. Do we just play Stimag Bat?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, it is good with Peddler. And the simul chip, which you're going to put back in.
No, we don't have any. We only have 1 simul chip now.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know, man. I hear you.
Ugh.
I hear you. No, but you don't make that sound.
Ugh.
I'm gonna cut these because we can't pop these for tempo, and we need to draw. This is the thing is like why this is so much easier in Max is like Anarch cards do things. Like there's so many ways to deal with ice. Like ice destruction 4 different ways. R&D pressure 4 different ways. We also can now hostage for Caddy. It's actually maybe worth considering hostage, like putting singletons of certain connections that are really good. Like let's put a singleton in. This is an awful idea, but we can put a singleton in of Cortez. Max doesn't rely on trash cans as well. That's a convincing argument. So here we click we class that click 4. That's good, and we would actually see 5.
Yeah, got a check trader. That's good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty okay. This is honestly playable. It's probably going to be not amazing. I feel like falsified is better than easy, but like it's 118 cards worse than 119. No, let's go. I'm gonna call this the Recyclage.
Yeah. Because it's all a scam. All right.
Oh,
because it's all a scam. That's my hot take about recycling.
Recycling is a way that the government tricks you to take your plastics away, and then they sell it on the side.
It's all big plastics.
Big plastic is you giving that shit away, man. You should be selling your garbage. Wasn't the idea to be 99 cards? Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
We're only 20 cards over.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 over is not bad. All right. At least we're really good against the Decklist of the week. It's hard to Ronin us. We probably will end up taking brain damage though.
Yeah.
Any Potatoes deck is going to have a rough time. Yeah, we've actually run into that. We ran into the last time we did Max 99. We ran into like a personalized Portal Jinteki deck that was trying to draw us cards. Oh man, it was so good. We don't recycle plastic most of the time. Kind of scam. Wait, actually? Uh-oh. I like to think that Canadian conspiracies are only about mundane things like recycling. Did you know, Pat, that to be able to buy maple syrup in Canada, or at least in Quebec, you actually have to buy it from like a board of maple syrup directors?
That makes sense, that there's a shadowy cabal overseeing maple syrup distribution.
I'm probably gonna be slightly incorrect, but apparently you have to go. I'm playing a competitive thing. This goes to what Sanjay was saying on Slumcast. 99 cards is still short for Anarch. We're gonna get robbed so good here. Okay, we want to miss bones in our opening hand. We only have 2 in the deck. We opened with a breaker we don't want, a breaker we don't want. Easy mark though. Triumph falsified. Falsified is honestly pretty okay.
We don't want Triumph because we're gonna get tagged.
We might.
And that's just the liability.
We could.
We will get tagged, and that's a liability.
I'm gonna mulligan for Tech Trader, right?
Sure.
Artem, yeah, recycling is pushed by plastic companies themselves for plastic to appear as if it was sustainable. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Yo, to talk.
Andre, I have some literature to share with you.
Oh.
Oh, hey, Archduke, good to see you.
Hey, we hit it. We got hostage for a second one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no recycle symbol they put on plastic containers doesn't actually mean it's recyclable. Yeah, it means it's sortable, right?
Actually, I think like there originally was a symbol that means recyclable, and it's one we all recognize. But plastic companies created their own symbol that looks a lot like it to make us think more things are recyclable than actually are.
Yeah, Tataki, this is a good Geist list. Rob is playing competitive CTM, so at least we're going to be able to see Sands and City Grid. We need a draw here, unfortunately, right?
In Florida, we have the sugar mafia, cane sugar landowners.
Yo, you can.
I mean, it makes sense that would happen before.
You can hostage from Miss Bones. You can hostage from Miss Bones, right?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good hostage target too.
Yo,
is that definitely better than Tech Trader though? Because Tech Trader is going to make you more money throughout the game.
We have one.
Yeah, but 2.
Okay, I'm gonna play this and just click for cards then. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. But this is good now. Marco J, yeah, Federation of Quebec maple syrup producers. It's real. Nothing got rezzed here. I wonder if they're on false lead. They produce 94% of Canadian maple syrup. Jesus fuck. That's some syrup.
If you come back from Vermont with some of Bernie Sanders syrup, they arrest you, like right at the border.
Is that Sanders' syrup?
Sanders' syrup, yep. It's hard to say without like one of those screens for my mic.
Yeah. What are we doing here? I'm trying to play this well. I don't know what we do. We have to install like 4 cards. Obviously want to get the Tech Trader down. Flip switch is really nice because you actually can remove a tag. It's pretty hot tech in this matchup. I feel like we do actually have to hostage here.
Yes.
But now the problem is like we're further away than ever from Sir Gamble, which is, good. Oh boy. 94% of Canadians, 70% of world syrup, 77%. Senator Sanders sweet syrup. So Muppet Temple free res the daily business show. It's only 1 credit for the temple to come up, but so far nothing on the table. They will arrest you if you attempt to bring wine and beer across the border between provinces. That's not true.
Between provinces, that can't be right. Like what border crossings are there?
You know that big sign that when you pass Ontario to Quebec and the roads get bad, they pull you over there.
Maybe they just don't let you into one of Ontario's onwards.
If we hostage for Miss Bones, yeah, I'm doing it. I thought we can install here. Oh, whoops.
You cost 2, you have 1, right?
I thought it reduced the cost by 1. It increases the cost by 1. Oh, we are so gonna get hard hitting used.
It's gonna be brutal.
I went to court recently. It breaks import laws if you have too much. Oh, if you have too much, yeah. That makes sense. There is a Sansan. We'll pay 5. At least if we get hard hitting news, we lose quickly.
Oh, that's true. Then we can play again.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about maple syrup.
So we'll take the tag. We'll remove the tag, gaining a credit and a card. In theory, we do a double draw. Gabali, a turning wheel. I think we needed the Gabali just because we need ways to make money. And then on their turn, we can pop this to give us a card and a credit. Going to Canada was hell. Coming to America was just a wave at a soldier. Really? Canadian board is so easy.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we
Like
got another
I don't want to.
response.
Like I've heard horror stories about the border going into the States from Canada. They arrest you if you don't have maple syrup. That is true. You need some smeared on your ID.
We have another Miss Bones. She is unique. The problem is the tag. Like, do we do 3 credits for a gamble? This seems brutal. I did get a haircut to Taki. I did yesterday. The first time in like 8, 9 months. It was a good win. I think we'd have to do 3 credits for gamble, man. Just to be able to control the board. He's going through his My Chemical Romance phase. I never was into them, but I know people like them. One of my friends was chewing tobacco and the customs guy let him spit the whole time. Then at the end game of petition said to pick them all up. That's fucking rude. Uh-oh, so someone's scoring something. Amani Sanai is up. Or maybe they just free resed her. No, it looks like they're going to score at a Beal. Kill off his econ? Yeah, they don't really have econ just yet. Oh, that's a problem for us. Now they can bounce a card at 3-1. I don't think we care. It costs us 2. Yeah, that's probably worth it. They also team sponsorshipped, which is a sand from archives. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get dunked on, and because we don't have any way to quickly clear tags. Like we don't. If we had a Mumbed City, what's it called? Citadel Sanctuary. This honestly would be like a winning board state.
Yeah, I forgot about the money. So I used to put that in my sports medal decks back in the day.
And we can't float the tag because we only have resources. And the problem is like we're not clicklessly drawing, which is exactly what you want to be doing in this situation. Yeah, we're fucked. He's on 1? Yeah, but we can't really do much about it. We have to pay 5 to not take a tag here. We should actually draw here. Yeah, Planned Assault hits Diversion, hits Dirty Laundry, which is not a good tempo play. Planned Assault is, you don't spend the extra click on Diversion, which is nice. I think we have to do that, but then they just like duck a res. I think we have to do Caddy. She's the only money we have. And this is the first time? Yeah, so we actually could run here and check what it is. If it's a price tag, they can't afford it. At 2, there's not much we can trash. I think we just click for a credit.
Arizona, that's really fascinating. But why was this person stopped? That just seems surprising to me.
She would be all the way to Supreme Court. Can't stop. I heard on New Brunswick liquor law limiting the amount of alcohol that can be carried across the provincial border in 2012. 2012. In 2012, Gerald Camo was stopped and fined for bringing more than 12-pint limited beer back from neighboring Quebec. That's super bizarre. I've never heard anyone give a shit about that sort of thing. I've got in trouble before where we went to the US for less than 24 hours and then you can't bring booze back. Tech Trader or Daily Cast? Honestly, Daily Cast is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so, because you have nothing to trash right now anyway.
Yeah, I'm keeping the Tech Trader though.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was one of the best men at a wedding? I guess I was among the best men. The actual best man, the groom's brother, drove away from the winery, the vineyard where the wedding was to take place, and accidentally drove south out of the eastern townships rather than north, and ended up at the border with no way to turn around. And he didn't have his passport or any information on him, or any ID on him. And they ended up letting him through, said like, you just have to drive around, then come back. Like you have to drive around, go to another border crossing.
That's a trap.
This one's closing. It is a trap, but they let him through. I think he had a lot of weed on him too, so he was panicking.
Here, they're jamming behind Silver 10. They have 3 credits. They're gonna be able to res this ice for free. It's probably an IP block. IP block, we can Gabali through it. Actually, no, you want to Kangamato it because you'll take a tag. I think we just have to continue setting up. Stim hack is actually pretty good because you can do 2 traces. So I think we're just gonna continue to set up. We're not gonna contest the board. But we're actually pretty close to like doing something, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get it. Do you want to put down the air tech trader now, or?
Yeah, I think so.
And you don't want to show the Gabali yet, right?
I don't think it matters. It just restricts our card credits. Like if we draw a Dirty Laundry or Falsified, we want some money. I thought they were gonna throw me in the basement jail. I accidentally stopped at the border and then got out of the car and crossed the border and went into the duty free on the other side of the border, unknowing it, to buy, like we were buying booze on the way back from road trip, and they had to send the border agents to be like, "What are you doing? Get out of there! You entered Canada." Criminal.
Oh, that's funny.
It was embarrassing. Yeah, there you go. There's falsified credentials. Sneak door is probably not that good considering daily business show, so we'll do the falsified. We want to guess what server 10 is probably an asset. I don't know what it'd probably be. Care for the money bounce? Yeah. Caddy's gonna get shit
No,
on.
that'll be devastating. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go asset. It's a Mumbet virtual tour. Fuck.
Oh, that's. Wait, but that's fine right now. You don't even have enough credits, even including bones, right?
No, but we lost 5 credits because I
Oh,
falsified it.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll draw once. Oh, we already drew this turn. Really? Oh, okay. I guess we'll take this. It seems really bad. Yeah, the money bounce is going to be absolutely disastrous. Yeah, this looks really bad. I was hoping we draw more. Maybe just the amount of trash cans are not good. Like a sports opera here would actually be sick.
Maybe we should analyze like how many trash cans per card are in a typical Geist deck, and then see how many in this deck.
Yeah, but then you end up playing like the bird. You know the one?
Yeah, the on the land, but the recon drone.
Yeah, exactly. Which like is a trash can, but good luck firing it.
Yeah.
My uni was in a county in New York, mind you, that banned all booze sales after 1 a.m. until sometime during the morning business hours. That's normal though, right? Yeah, they're gonna get the bounce here. Oh shit, it's another AR enhanced. Okay.
That's frustrating.
So we probably just have to not trash their shit. This was easy to call as an upgrade. Card and server 10 from hand, Amani Sanai trace. We'll pay 2 to prevent the bounce. Pat, it's looking pretty bad out here, man.
It's looking pretty bad. I don't know what to do here. I mean, like once we have a spy cam up,
we'll see a card.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
I think we actually can dirty laundry this, right? Like they only have 1 credit.
Mm-hmm.
Server 10. Like what can this be? Tag me R&D and done. Yeah, we just get blown out by like one of these things. This is probably gonna be a Rashida, right? To 15 minutes. Oh, okay. Trace 2. Sick. In theory, we have to access this, but we're not gonna trash it. Why do you play this deck again? He said it was the only deck he had. So now the problem is if we take a tag, it's 2 tags. And then the trace. So like we'd have to end up stim hacking the daily business show. I think we're just gonna start slamming centrals. This is where we wish we had the turning wheel. We'll just go R&D. Yo, Chris, Netrunner lives. Netrunner's really good right now. How's it going? It's a slot machine. That's good to know. And I guess we probably should be drawing through a deck, not running for single, especially when they have daily business show. But they shoot 3 agendas relatively quickly. Exchange of information. Okay, so they're almost definitely on Bologna, maybe food. And then that's why they wanted to score this thing out. Those centrals got to be chock full agendas? I don't think so, because they had daily business show since turn 2. So they could have drawn... Oh yeah, they shuffle 50 minutes, of course. Feels bad. And now they can res an IP block, which, you know, it's a thing. Simulchip or Abagnale? We already have an Abagnale. The Simulchip gets us literally nothing. So that's cool.
We do have a break and enter icebreaker in hand that's useful later.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, okay. Oh man. These too early, like if they didn't have these, we had the missed bones. We actually could deal with it, but those two too early is a problem. So we hit IP block. We end up spending 2. They could boost to 5 if they really wanted to. Sneak door beta doesn't really matter too much. I think we're just gonna set up a wee bit. Oh man, this is really bad. Oh, that's good. That gives us spy camera, which is nice. Inside job and sure gamble are both dead. Are we ever gonna trash cards on this bones? I don't think so.
Got some friends and everything. That's good.
Got some friends to track.
Chris is just saying that.
Hell yeah.
Friends play with. It's cool.
The System Gateway, the new starter set, comes out real soon. Yep. I just threw out a sneak door right when they were sheeted, which actually is a kind of good time to sneak door. We have a dry county in the States. Literally can't purchase Vice or Syntax stuff. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, when I lived in the Yukon, there were quite a few dry counties around me. I mean, people would still drive for like 2 or 3 hours to get to the town I lived in.
Yeah, and then they're drunk driving, just like Ian is saying.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the big problems. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Like the drunk driving incidence in dry counties is way higher than it is in the rest of the country. Usually.
Yeah, they gotta commute to get wasted. Pat, we're fucked, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I think we made a 119 card deck, and maybe that was a good idea.
Yeah, not a lot of decks can pressure this heavily on turn 1. This is one of the few decks that really can do it. We did draw 2 Missed Bones, which like should be good enough, but this is gonna goof us. They had a Rashida Fire, so any of these could be agendas, which Amani Sanai is a thing. So I think the only thing we do is Turning Wheel and Pray.
Sure.
Let's look at the top of the deck first. Oh, which Shiv do you want?
Top Shiv. Hey.
Okay. No, I did top Shiv because I buried the bottom.
Oh,
Shiv.
you did? Oh, right. You chose the one that went on bottom. Yeah, thank you.
Can't blame the deck. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't think we can.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that is the thing people like about Netrunner is like, you play the deck doesn't play you, unless you build a 119 card deck.
I don't want to hit up Caddy because of the bounce. Actually, I don't even want to install Abigail because of the bounce. What are we doing? We just
Chris,
can't
we're doing
things.
We're doing 119 cards because Geist is rotating, and we want to like send him off with a bang. Basically, we're trying to put in like almost every card with the trash can.
Told you I
want. The theory is Geist draws a lot of cards.
Masterwork.
The reality is Geist is not drawing a lot of cards.
Okay, we actually have a turn set up here. So Crowbar's not going to do much because I think they only run like, maybe they run Enigma, but I'm pretty sure we've seen a slot machine. Oh, that blue card. It's a good one. So Maryland, Pad Campaign, Rashida. Did I say Maryland? I thought I saw Maryland. No, so what's server 7? Which doesn't include a trash can pot. Hey, yo. So slamming HQ here honestly is not the worst. I did throw out the snake door, which is honestly like one of the cool tricks that we had. We can always bring it back with the simul chip and actually make a profit, which is nice.
True.
Maybe they run Enigma. Yeah, I think Enigma is actually pretty likely. Oh yeah, right. If you leave a Sansan up, you just lose the top decks. I forgot about that. It's been a while. Yeah, that's a huge issue. I think we just slam R&D and pray. You lose. You just lose. Simple as that.
If Sansan is in system update, I think we have to assume Clot is too, right? Clot would be a weird card not to rescue.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way to stop fast events in the game at all. So it would have to either be a new card or Clot.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense to include that card in System Gateway, where that strategy presumably isn't going to be too prevalent.
I don't know, man. Maybe. I don't think you don't put Clot in System Gateway, right? Like it'd have to be in System Update, unless you're talking about a new card.
Yeah. Putting Silver Bullets in System Gateway doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. You want flexible cards, yeah. The price of freedom is new meta. Yeah, I think that's the only one right now, right? Maybe if you want to argue that whatever that CD one is, but I think that rotate. No, that's actually Pernamumba. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and lose by going R&D. Chicana rotated.
Yeah. I just replied to Power Guy. There was a good shape virus that rotated that mess with advanced.
Oh, actually, no. Sorry, no fire. Amakua or Eve3, we'll take the Amakua. The problem is like anything we hit here with Amani Sanai is gonna goof us. We can't steal Bologna. Yeah, we should have no reason to play this game. The Pad Campaign, cool. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing anymore. This is taking the wind out of my sails. Do we know what's getting into System Core 2021? We've seen a couple cards on the NISEI's website. They've said a lot of cards that are in articles, but it's not clear what's in the System Gateway or not. But we've seen a couple cards, things like Legwork, Maker's Eye. We've seen Punitive Counterstrike, Ice Wall, Retrieval Run, Corroder. I feel like I'm missing one or two.
Yeah, they will tell us
soon.
On the 12th and 13th, the complete list of cards in System Update 2021. People on Green Level Clearance are putting together like Google Sheets where they're trying to collate all the data and figure out what is actually definitely going to be in, based on like what cards have we seen recent alt arts for. Yeah, that would make sense. It makes sense that they would spend money on art to for cards that's gonna be playable.
That was the thing that confused me for a second, because I think you're totally right about that. Cards like House of Knives have an official Nisei art, so whether that rotates right now, who knows? But on top of that, what's it? That's what I was confused, because there's a Claude alt art, but I realized it's from the Hemophilia charity tournament, so it's not Nisei's. I really like that card. More interesting design than Claude, just slightly under the power level you want. Yeah, it's also very oppressive though. There are combo situations in which you can't score through it, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Which you kind of the only time it's good, it's like oppressive.
And what was the source? Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
other neutral card that wanted to do that.
Yeah, and that one rotated a long time ago, but that actually was an interesting
Yeah.
design, albeit also very strong with that one Dr. Lovegood.
Yeah, that was kind of a proto current in a way.
Yeah, kind
because
of.
it had ways to be trashed by either player.
We should have not done this. Why did we say, Rob, that we would do this? We were so confident. He said CTM and we're like, yes. What were we doing? Why did we say yes to this?
Nope. Something's happening. Uh-oh.
Oh, my OBS just crashed. Is everything okay?
Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Pat. Chat, are we still there? I just got an OBS crash message. It looks like I was still streaming. Yeah, totally. It corresponded with Rob saying wait, which was scary.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube still up? Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. You didn't see it because I'm only showing the message, but OBS gave me an error message. I don't know what that is. That's weird.
Yes.
Yo, Nero,
Spear
how's it
Shaker
going?
saying
Rain.
I can see everything, which is worrying.
Yeah, that's NBN.
Uchi, we are Uchi.
Still working as far as I can. I thought I read that as Artifact. Did you know Valve canceled Artifact 2.0 today?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. If you
That
want to
was
play
today?
Yeah, if you want to play Artifact 2.0, you actually can download the like early version of it for free. But yeah, that game is not becoming a thing anymore.
That's I'm sad that a game no longer exists, but I never had much interest. Although I heard it was interesting. Just way too long, something I want to watch.
Oh fuck, I did the wrong one. Oh, we're gonna get him so good. So Rashida's gonna draw into the winning agenda unless we fisk it. Run HQ. It's $20? Yeah, it should be free now. You still got 2 agenda points left before they win. You can make it. Yeah, let's go. At least this ice doesn't do anything. And then we can like jam HQ with inside job, and we won't have enough money for Bologna. I wonder if they're on C-Source. Market Forces. Okay. So that's their closed account equivalent. I think we just do credit. No, there's no way that we can get we could have done diversion, but that just gives them still enough money to score because they have Rashida. So if we do credit inside job, we still don't get enough money. Like we have to trash something to be able to get a credit. We can't really do that. I guess we'll just inside job R&D. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what we do. Have you seen the Death of the Game series? No, I haven't, Chris. What is that?
The Death of the Game series.
Oh fuck. Psychographics. I could have seen another card, whatever. Credit game. GG.
The podcast, Andre made fun of me earlier for listening to many podcasts, but podcast 99% Invisible has an episode called Game Over that's about the slow death of The Sims Online and like what happens when a social game that has many people who devoted their entire social lives to it closes down for them. It's really kind of tragic, but I think it's definitely worth listening to. It's only like a 15-minute episode too.
Is Habo Hotel still a thing?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a series that covers a lot of cool games that died too soon. Interesting. Check into that. Yeah.
Looks like 2 months ago they did Marvel's Avengers. That just got some bad news today that they're like changing the way XP and leveling works in a way that's not going to work out for them. Not going to work out at all.
Apparently, it's not linear anymore, right? They market forced us. Yeah, I forgot we took a tag. We're on R&D. I think we can just concede. I don't know what we're doing. This is awful. Break all but one. We can't even do it. I hear griefing in Sims Online was awesome. How so? Griefing never is awesome. They can psycho graphics out here too, so they can actually maybe fast advance on Sansan, like install Psycho Advance.
Oh wow!
No, they can do a 4-2. We'll hit a Bologna. It's a Mamba Temple. Damn, so close. All right, so we drew through 30 cards. That's not bad, right? 40 cards? Almost.
Yeah. You did put showing off in this deck, right? Because now it's about time to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, showing off would do something here. They didn't shuffle, like they didn't have Maryland.
I can't remember what Battle of Wits is. Is that the one where you win?
You play a
It lets
second
you-
game. If I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
yeah, you
Oh
play-
no, is Battle of the Wits the one where you have to like go through the whole deck or something? Or is it the one where you play a second game?
No, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 200 cards in your library,
Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah.
if you can get this card out and then last a turn,
You win, yeah. But you have to play a stupid big deck.
yes. And I don't think there's any way to tutor, or at least when this card came out, there's no way to tutor mechanics.
We're gonna see what's on top of the deck. It's a global food initiative. If we steal it, they win. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We let them win.
Oh my god. I wish we could actually discard breakers into a bin. They'd be much better there. So I'm gonna falsify the asset. It's a commercial bankers group. Okay, run R&D. Battle Wits doesn't work because you failed the must be able to shuffle your deck floor rule requirement. Really? It's like the deck is not shuffleable? Break all but one? Selected not to break. We won't break that. Geist. Continue counter. And we actually can install grappling hook. Can't keep Geist out when he's good. Yeah, Artem, enter the dungeons when you play another game under the. I've heard of that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember when the first Unglued set came out. That's when I was still actively playing and collecting Magic. Like, that was a revelation. That was long before Legacy games came out. That was my first interaction with cards that say, tear this card up to have this powerful effect. Yeah.
Yo, we literally got through this. And look at that. We have so many cards to hand, 11 credits. Man, I'm going to miss Geist. But also, they can either psychographics out or just exchange. GG. Yeah, that sucks. This is bad radio, huh?
It's weird that our first game tonight was so exciting.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
I'm still kind of vibrating off of that.
Okay, I think there's probably a rule in television where you never admit your content is lame, right? Are we breaking rule number 1 of television?
I feel like late night hosts do that a lot, or did that a lot during the writer's strike. You know, when Conan was just like, I'm just going to spin my wedding ring on the table for a while and hope this is content.
By standard rules, MTG events say that they'd be able to shuffle your deck, and by extension, your opponent does too. In practice, you would get DQ'd. Yeah, so there's somebody who took to Netrunner tournament like a 500 card Titan list. It was like every legal card, and like people helped shuffle it, which is really funny.
I played in Titan. You have to be able to search your deck multiple times, right? With the Atlases.
Atlas tokens.
Assuming you can draw a single Atlas.
I got 2 bones early. Then your agendas don't care. Check out Slay the Spire. Some dev testers were Netrunner pros. Oh yeah, no, we're huge fans of Slay the Spire. I got hundreds of hours in it.
If you like Slay the Spire, you might like Monster Train too.
Yeah, I played Vault of the Void, which is also fascinating.
I need to get on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, we're gonna do another one. Commit anything if you turn it into an opportunity to make good jokes and create good content process. Yeah, no, that's true. I'm not. Any chase. We just definitely agreed to. That was hubris. Like, oh, competitive CTM list. You're gonna watch ace piloting of a 120 card Geist deck. And
well, wait, are we gonna change the deck before we start a new?
No, it's perfect, Pat. It was just the matchup. We played flawlessly. Okay. What are you talking about?
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I need to find someone that's willing to show me how to use a Jinteki. I haven't played Netrunner in years. I still have the cards in first NISEI set. Nero, what you can do. The green level clearance Discord has exactly a setup where you can be like new player or new to Jinteki not. People will be happy to walk you through it. On top of that, if you make a room here and you call new to Jinteki.net, you'll have people join your game that are both patient and are willing to teach you. I know that might be a bit of a jump to like trust strangers. Maybe you're uncomfortable with that, but you can definitely do it and people will be happy. Both of those situations are really good. Yeah, Chris's tag at mentor in GLC. That'll get you there.
Yeah, again, that's the green level clearance Discord. Join that, and like they are super new player friendly. They want to enjoy your time learning.
Okay, Blue Sun, that's a problem because we can't early contest with too many of their overstate AI stuff unless we get an early Damara, which will shit on an OAI anything basically. Isn't Netrunner DB kind of slow? Yo, Scrub, I don't know. We haven't had any problems with it, but they updated Netrunner DB today, so there might be some kinks to work out. We'll go for the mull.
I guess it. Oh, see, it wasn't a perfect hand to attack you.
This didn't get better. All right. So also we have to worry about like punitive and anything that cares about credit differential, which for us, like we're just gonna ignore that part of the game. It's perfect. Yeah, there's building blocks. So we'll see a Chiashi or Hadrian's. Okay, we're in uncharted territory. You don't see this one.
Interesting. I haven't seen that in a while.
No, this lines up so poorly. And they also have no credits here. Like, what do they do now? Click, click. Like for 1 credit, they can't do anything here. Oh, wow. I guess they're waiting for this for the bounce. But like, this is so bad for Boomerang. A lot of people would rather play like, you know, Orion or spend influence on Chiashi.
Yeah. At least it's not OAI'd. That would, like, Boomerang's not going to trash it.
So do they mull? They kept. Do you want to just like Bravado HQ? Now we can't steal SDS, so we might actually want to like put Turtle credit Bravado HQ. Want to see you try this deck out? Oh, Petit Poivron Vert. I saw Diogenes Poivron decks, the pepper decks. I think we're going to do this. It gives us something to do. 0 credits, they probably can't res. And if they can, we can't break it because it'll be a vanilla or a rhyme. Scorched Earth. Okay. We got a C-Source gamer here. I want to get some turtle counters. Oh wait, actually we died a C-Source Scorch likely if they have exactly a C-Source in hand because they'll bounce this for 10. I forgot about that. We'll see how it goes. Best Netrunner do it again. Yo, thanks, Scrub. Appreciate it. Do they hard hitting news this year?
He's just counting me twice.
Yeah, the guy with glasses twice. I wear glasses. I don't know. I thought that was a 4 eyes joke, but it didn't make sense. Okay, so this is probably a Hadrian. If they res it, honestly, we're happy. But now we can hit a larger range of anything. Mouselessity, kind of bad. I think we pay 3 for 4 cards. I feel like we need to.
Well, I don't think.
We also can keep this.
I don't like spending 3 for right now. I think just click for draw.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be good for them drawing their C-Source. Draw. Another Bravado is kind of cute, but again, 10 credits means they can afford a heck of a lot. But like their Ice Suite, it seems like it's gonna be a bit unconventional. This crowbar doesn't go really that far. It can get us through an Afshar maybe. I'll draw once more and see how this goes. Okay, well our hand is 0 for 3 is a bit better, huh? Hopefully that's a Rashida. We actually like draw into Sneak Door or something interesting. I'm gonna throw out. Actually, probably should throw another crowbar. If you want the equivalent in Jinteki Petit Poivron Rouge Fait. That's the medtech one, right? Between 2 people there. 4 eyes, checkmate, individual people. All right, 2 chip server 1. There's the OAI. So in theory, we want to find a way to deal with a Tithonium, which we can Fisk into a Damara. That'd be ideal. That's gonna be a 9 credit play. They also double advanced.
Would a Damara trash it or just bypass it though?
Oh fuck, you're right. It bypasses.
Right? Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh no. Is a 50-minute game thing a meme now? I don't know. I'm excited for that, honestly. We also could just like run that, but now that's gone out the window. That was probably better. It's just like run archives 3 times and then bravado it. We misplayed that.
We know we can get into R&D because R&D is probably the Hadrian's Wall.
Okay. I hope. But yeah, we definitely could have ran 3 times on archives to get 3 Amaku counters and then smashed HQ, which would have been a great play for sure. Because now they're going to be at 18 credits.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it looks like it is the Hadrian, which is fine. If they ever res that, we're fine. Building blocks, though. Okay. At least on either of these, it's not that strong. Wait, how did this go to single advancement? Oh, undo click. Do you want to boomerang and run this? I do.
Yeah. Yeah, we might as well.
It looks like an NGO front. Oh, it's an Anansi. Oh, fuck.
Interesting. That's bad.
We can't break all the subs, but we'll definitely break some of the better ones. So at least we made them spend money. They can only bounce 1. Ooh, we got a Triumph. Okay, so the net damage, rearrange the top 5 is bad. Draw 1 card, runner draws a card. That we're okay with. So I'm going to drop this one and the net damage. We're still going to take the 3 net damage because we don't break all the subroutines.
But we are drawing a card, so...
If we pay 2, which I think we do.
Oh, if we pay 2. Yeah, for sure we do.
Hey,
you can oversay the AI, guys, right? Like, there's no restriction.
No, anything, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Tithonium asks you to forfeit an agenda. That's what they're thinking about.
Yeah.
But
so
from early on, you've been able to do that to an archer. That was like an early thing you do before Blue Sun took it in.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we lost to Damara, which is like the breaker that we actually wanted here because we know it's a high risk investment. Holy fuck! I don't have a good read on this. We are at 4 cards though, so they'll have to double scorch us, and then probably bounce the Tithonium. If don't, we go archives HQ. Yeah, this is wild. I don't know what this is, but we might be able to keep up with them. Okay, so they bounced. We have to make sure that we never face check without 5 strength on this, our friend.
Yeah, Tithonium cannot host cards, but Oversight AI is a condition counter, sort of.
Yeah, so what does this say? Res a piece of ice ignoring cost, install Oversight AI, and that ice is a hosted condition counter. Wait, what does Tithonium say?
It says it cannot host cards.
Oh yeah, so condition counter is no longer considered a card, right? But like Parasite is.
Yeah.
So they're building blocks in Orion. Wow, they only have big stuff. We're gonna have to work really hard on Samakua. But that's a 10 credit play, which is huge. Hey, Jinglis, how's it going? Finally getting to watch live. Loving the stream. Cheers. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm glad you got here for one of the Patrick streams.
They're the good ones, man.
Yeah, really.
You gotta bum through the rest of the week just to get there. So they probably can't res any of this stuff on R&D, but we're definitely gonna Fisk, huh?
Yes. Start with the Fisk.
Okay, we have Caddy. We have Spy Camera again. We don't have any way to make money, but we can see the top of the deck. Do you think we just set up with Caddy? Well, let's run R&D. We want to get turning wheel tokens. I mean, sorry, Amakua counters. That's all this.
Yeah. Is there any meat damage tech in the deck? I don't think there. Like the fact that we're playing Geist,
drawing cards,
some meat damage tech on its own, right?
Yeah. So we hit Colossus. Let's just get to 5. Actually, no. We shouldn't get to 5. We should get Caddy down. Wait, whoops.
Yeah, because they're just going to
if they'll purge
the numbers lost tempo.
Yeah. Yeah, this Caddy will be really good. Hopefully they don't have like Under the Bus or MCA informant. Yeah, we don't have any direct damage prevention, but they really want to hurt us, man. You don't see this guy relaxing that often. Yeah, so this is actually a big deal. Somebody pointed this out in the Montreal Netrunner Slack, and I agree. Based off of the colors and the tones that generally show up, and even like the line work to some extent on the art that NISEI is making for Netrunner stuff, and the stuff that FFG is, the FFG cards. Oh, Sea Source. Oh, they might have everything. They might just actually have everything. Because we fist them so much. The stuff here for NISEI looks a lot darker and grittier. Oh, they have it. Yeah, of course we fisk them. Unless it's tempo and they're trashing Caddy. Oh, good game. Don't fisk a combo deck. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good lesson.
Thanks to the game, eh? Oh, they left. Wow, 16 credits. What are we drawing into? Oh, I never do that. Now it's so hard to close this thing. We had Bravado into Planned Assault. Yeah, we were not going to go too far. We did the sneak door coming out. Yeah. All right. Lori, how's it going? Okay, so this is undefeated so far on NJNet. It's 11:30. Pat, you want to do one more?
Yeah, I'm down for one more. If it's as quick as this last one.
Yeah, don't worry. We a candle burned on both and twice as bright.
Never a candle that burns twice as long is right twice a day.
Yeah, broken candle. Twice.
Don't break the candle.
Optimizer. I don't know these players. Too little data. Uh-oh. Are we getting sniped? Too little data scares me. That means somebody set up for this. Oh, CTM. Yeah, great. Okay.
Or it's about to be a new player's worst game ever.
Hey. Best of luck. Have fun. All right. So it looks like we might have been sniped. I don't want to be too suspicious, but CTM is a really bad matchup. It's a new account. We got early Amakua, which is okay. Flip switch is not bad. Diversions is technically pressure. Spy camera is okay. Like we can probably we could consider keeping this. There's obviously a huge range of stuff. Like the best stuff we'd have is Miss Bones. Dirty Laundry would be okay. Flip switch might get us far enough. It's like not amazing on tempo because you pay 1 credit to remove a tag instead of 2 credits, but it does draw you a card. Lucian CTM a riot. I hope so. Maybe Rob has a Smurf.
Could Dynamite be considered a candle? I think technically yes, but because it costs 5 resources and damages other investigators, like you never play it.
I'm new trying to figure things out. Oh, no worries. Holler if you got any questions, eh? Yeah. You can get the one that's 3 credits and draws a card though. It's a lot better. All right. Supposedly a new player. It lines up. We'll see how it goes. The only issue here is that it might also be a long game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try and win very quickly or lose very quickly either way.
That's okay. I'll start up a game of Ashes while you're playing this.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. So new players admittedly might be a bit easier to diversion if they don't respect HQ. We'll see how it goes.
And it's good teaching lessons early on.
New players are sucker for trap kill BS. I wouldn't call it BS, but traps are always very, very exciting.
I wonder if Gateway will have traps.
Yeah,
like, that's something that seems kind of risky, but I'm hoping there are.
Hey, I'm new. This is how Warfare HHN works. Yeah, good game, Rob. That's a brilliant opening. Yeah, we're fucked. What I was gonna say, yeah. So the big question is, what's your all guess? Is tomorrow's Jinteki ID gonna be a trap ID or an econ ID, like a utility ID, right? Because like it's always like 50-50.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, what is a simple trap ID potentially?
A simple trap ID?
Like something that does
question.
Like 2 net damage at once per game, like a simplified biotech.
Oh Jesus fuck! They have money on the top. All right. Well, we're gonna do the only thing we know how to do. And we're gonna we shouldn't have ran RD. We should check both of these because nothing really hits us here besides price sec.
True.
Yeah, we can't trash. We'll trash that. We'll take a tag. Floating 1 tag here is probably fine. My spicy bet's something to replace PE. Well,
you don't think PE is coming back? It's true.
Yeah, because like
PE
what's going to be in system gateway or system update? Will it be PE? PE's been around forever. I don't know. First time you deal net damage, you turn gain 2. Easy. Classic Netrunner. We'll run server 3, I guess. We get Amaku counters. Like we're gonna have to go tag me and just hope for the best. We can't afford much else. Another Rashida? Okay, I guess we're going this tag me, which is a problem for Boom. We don't want to go with this tag me. Trap ID, if you're at least 1 unres remote server something. Well, that's interesting too.
Yeah. But remember, they have to be 15 words or less. That was
was that actually the rule?
Well, the previous designer, I think that's what they said that they were.
We found the IP block.
Let me see what we count Tau and the other one. Built to last.
I know that was something that that the designer was saying going forward, that they wanted like less text on cards. I don't know if that's already in place for this, because in theory they weren't the designer during all of this process.
Yeah, but I remember I used to follow their tweets where they would put out like a design calendar. And one of them was like, can you design an ID that has 15 cards or less? This is what I'm going. I maybe even played in 2 things, but I think they said this is what I'm going.
No, I think June was posting those.
Okay.
Okay. We have a problem here. It is that the diversion of funds needs to land.
Tau and Built to Last are both 15 words or less. So
I guess asset. It's an Amani Sanai. We should have known that. It also gives us an Amaku counter. We know this is not. We're pretty sure this is an IP block. Which is a thing. I think we just take down the commercial bankers group. We should have done that a couple turns ago. If we were going to tag me, we might as well fuck them up. I hope it's a library that starts to run her off on the back foot. What do you mean it's a library? Isn't that an NBN thing?
I hope it's a library that starts to run. Yeah, I don't know.
It would be weird to have a damage or something. That wouldn't be fun, would it? It'd be fun if you have to mulligan poorly against them, but like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of IDs that just only fire turn 1. Like Andy, or to some extent at least, what's her name? Ayla's a bit more interesting.
Yeah. I don't consider Ayla I don't put her in the same category as start of game IDs, because hers is really like 4 times per game you get to choose your draw.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more interesting. Can we win without resources? I don't think so, man. The question's how many times can we get through this? We have no multi-access. Why are we playing this? At least if we have not a lot of credits, they can, you know. Whenever you mulligan, gain 3.
Oh, wow.
Wait, Corey, what was your great joke?
Yeah, I'm scrolling up. I see Corey's idea for an ID.
Both whenever you install an ambush card, you may reveal in game. No, I get it. That's a good joke. I do like that. Ekmeki 4015 assets the runner accesses are considered to have additional advancement counters on it. It's disgusting. Is Mushin rotating? It looks like it, right?
Oh man, yeah, because like there is kind of a Mushin replacement, isn't there?
No,
I can't remember.
Oh, Kakarenbo, sort of.
Kakarenbo.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think Kakarenbo is the new Mushin, which I honestly don't like Kakarenbo because you have to just ask him every turn for what's in archives. I'm going for it, y'all. Exactly the reaction I was hoping for. Not bad. Kakarenbo's garbage, not remotely Mushin replacement? I don't think so. I think Kakarenbo's okay. I honestly think Kakarenbo's fine.
Let me look it up.
It works with Jeeves. It's more expensive than Mushin, but it's good. Flips your cards in the archives face down. That's something. It also lets you trash cards. Not that there's like a lot of like traps for archives yet. No, they're considering here. Oh, it's Data Raven. That's fine.
Yeah, we can take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kakarenbo's fine.
You can defend the Kakarenbo card too. We need a joke keyword. Wait, what? I miss.
I mean, it's very difficult to.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can install the Kakarenbo card into a remote server that already exists.
Yeah, so you can play like Mushin.
Yeah, okay, so you can like Mushin into a. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So they fired all of their trace into this, so they have no money for us to diversion of funds, which I think we're fine because they can't res anything but Rashida. So we're just gonna access cards. IP block.
Or
wait.
reach, you should say.
Yeah. So we can go R&D.
You think that's not an IP block? Interesting.
Well, they can't res it anymore.
Oh, true.
Harding News, that's a bad draw for them. I guess we can check one of these, but like we need 1 credit for Rashida. We're 1 credit short. It's a DBS. That's fine.
Well, it's information.
I'm a new player. I'm just gonna max out this Data Raven to deny the noof. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't honestly know if that's a good play, right? Like they had stuff to res. Like I think resing stuff was fine. I think an interesting trap ID would not make traps better, but would make not checking them worse for the runner. Yeah, traps are hard, man. Jinteki 25-15 cards can't prevent you from scoring cards. Mushinteki cards can't prevent you from scoring cards. Wait, what do you mean by that? Oh, we have a gamble. You want to click for 3, man? Well, they don't have a Rashida on the table, right? Because we would have seen it. I think we just slam R&D, right? Like with at this point, the IP block, we pay 1, right? Yeah, we'll get up to sure gamble and then we'll go. Maybe they purge here. I don't know. And before side game ID, some people would like that. Trash 2 installed face down cards. Add 1 advancement counter to installed card. This ability may be used once per turn and it's clickless. That is fascinating.
Interesting.
That's really cool for shell game stuff. Oh, we need to delete this commercial bankers group. We're gonna do credit, gamble, run this thing. That's really interesting. It's just hard to get those installs down. Play Rashida, I guess. Oh, hey, Nanako's here. I wonder if she's at her dinner.
I can't see.
No, she's on the floor.
Okay.
Credit, gamble, take down their money. They also res a DBS, so they don't have too much money. We know there's a money Sanai, which is honestly the worst problem for Amakua. Because obviously that firing and the trace is going to be a bigger deal than anything else. At this point, like we're dead to every meat damage card largely, besides a single Scorched. And Psychographics is alive and well, but they might not have the credits right here. We haven't seen a pad campaign yet so far, but we've seen 2 Rashidas, 2 comm groups, so there's not too much they can do. Mushin Ocean scoring prevention doesn't take effect. Wait, so you can just Mushin and score?
Kakarenbo lets you score. So if you can figure out a way to get
it's easy.
Clickless. Yeah.
No, Kakarenbo prevents you from scoring, right? Oh no, it doesn't. But then wait.
I don't think it does.
Then can't you just fast advance 3 2s from hand? I don't get it. What does Kakarenbo even do?
It is like a harder to play Mushin that doesn't have the same restrictions as Mushin. Like, so.
Kakaramba Jeeves. Why? Because it only gives 2 advancements?
Oh yeah, Mushin gives you 3, right? I forgot that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize Kakugenbo gave you 2. So with Jeeves, you can do 3 because of the triple. I thought it was 3 advancements. Okay. Okay. So that's, yeah, it's a fair bit worse than Mushin because you can't do Mushin to 4. But it does let you play traps from archives. It has value.
I mean, Kakurenbo is install and 2 advancements for 3 bucks. It's credit neutral, but you can also make sure that the opponent has no idea what you played. So.
All right, give us a fucking Bologna. Hard-hitting news.
And it's a way to get cards out of traps.
We need to trash this thing too, but I'm just going to slam this. The unfortunate thing here is like this is going to be tedious. But they probably have agendas in hand. And we just need to make sure that they can't score anything. They're at the point where with 8 credits, 6, 7, 8, they can't really score from hand with they could with what's it called? With that NBN upgrade I never remember the name of, but they can't with Sansan. They just don't have enough money unless they have a Mamba Temple somewhere. Fuck, we keep finding that guy. I'll take down both of these. Oh, we can't afford that actually.
Yeah, we can't take.
This is probably more important. No, honestly, I don't know. This will make them draw into like their win con sooner, psychographics or whatever. So that's actually pretty important. Where's their money? I don't remember what we've ran. That's the problem. I'll run archives. Beanie, guys, love it. Bring back fun memories. Oh, Chinchling, it's 120 card, guys. So it's not exactly Beanie. Yo, man, why did they throw a wraparound? Oh, fuck, that wraparound would be so good for them.
Yeah, wraparound would have been great.
Damn, wraparound absolutely dunks on us. What's in their hand? Why are they keeping a hard-hitting news too, right? Like we have 10, 11 tags? Beanie A++. All right, they shuffled the 50 minutes back, which, you know, okay. Ooh, Bravado is technically okay. We'd have to do credit. We'd Bravado HQ, and then we can run R&D once. I'm fascinated about NBN identities. I feel like they have the most flexibility because I don't think any of the NBN identities are very similar to one another.
Yeah, true. I wonder what it could be.
Said he was a noob? Said they were a noob? Yeah. Well, they did. But they're doing other stuff pretty good. Preemptive? Okay. Not a particularly good card in hand. We'll run R&D. We want to keep our money up again because of money, but we have to blind res money. We're really lucky we got the Samaku in our opening hand because we've drawn 5 cards.
Yes. This is not a Geist game plan, but
where are the agendas?
It's happening.
We've accessed a fair bit.
Yeah, they're not using Daily Business Show.
No. What you know in hand is whatever we just accessed, which I immediately forgot. They have 2 hard-hitting news. That's an upgrade. Looks like a Mumbet Virtual Tour. So they're probably protecting stuff on HQ. Now, as long as we like can boost with something, we actually don't have to we probably should grappling hook this, huh? Nah, we need it. Oh, preemptive, yeah. They have preemptive in hand. They have 2 hard-hitting news. What did we just see on top of R&D? What did we just see on top of R&D? It wasn't another preemptive, was it? Oh, this is good.
I think so.
I'll do this.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah, because then we actually can flip switch for tempo. Clear tag. Yeah, I'll just play around money by playing that. It's obviously really weak to... Oh, it's a Data Raven. Yeah, okay, sick. Okay. So, like, we know 3 or 4 cards in their hand, unless they threw out a hard-hitting news here, which they might have. Maybe even thrown out 2. Yeah, CDM's rough. It's the sort of deck where if you can't deal with it, it pumps out threats like way faster because it doesn't need ice than anything else. Your economy needs to be really strong. So they also just shuffled. So if we ran R&D, we wouldn't see the top card because they chose to shuffle with Maryland. Uh-oh. It just says took a tag up there. Are they using Data Raven? No, it doesn't look like it. They are at the point where they can Psycho Beal out. Yeah, they can win here. Yeah, GG. That's Psycho Beal. Perfect.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Good for them. Thanks to the game.
Yeah.
How about reveal and trash an installed ambush card to gain 2 credits? I think it'd be better just to trash anything. It's cool if you don't show it's an ambush, right?
Yeah.
That's the big old deal. All right. Well, we actually made more money than them, which is pretty fun. But we went up to 13 credits, more than 13 tags, and they can just beal us. They can just beal us. Okay, this guy's shit. I should never do this.
Why do you doing this?
So the problem is we couldn't play resources. Not that we had many. So we had 2 hostages coming up. Sneak door would be okay. We probably play the sports hopper. We got lucky on the bravado. That was actually pretty good. But yeah, okay. Let's never play this again.
You know what? I think we gave Geist the send off he deserved.
I'm a huge Geist fan, for what it's worth. For those who are not familiar with the channel, that is obviously awful, but undefeated on JNet, it's important. Just think about how to even out the extreme gamble of trap decks and invest in things that may not pay out. But Thanos, for what it's worth, my favorite thing about trap decks, specifically if they're advanceable traps, is that they get value the longer, like if you leave them, right? Because there's so many decks that will basically install double advance or motion advance, and then at some point in the game it actually matters because the corp could like double like they could double hit you with 2 Ronins, or a Ronin could weaken you up for a kill, stuff like that, right? Like it's a real big deal. That leaving them sometimes can be important. And cards like back channels, stuff like that give you tempo back for like traps, generally are not worth the slot. You rather just play with that information. Back channels built in. Yeah, back channels isn't like, I don't know. I'd rather have something that makes it more interesting for them to run because of like you setting up some combo than getting your money back for a failed read. Right? Like I'd rather have something similar to Ronin that makes it more interesting, as opposed to like, getting the money back. Mushin P doesn't need to take advantage of a failed cerebral. Exactly. Yeah, that's a really big deal. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like if they Mushin out something and it fails, you leave it there and you stew, and then you advance it another time and you wait. Like you continue to goof with them until they finally buy and run it. Specifically, not limiting per turn could allow you to store a bunch of burst money. I guess so. You have to also watch out sometimes when there's a clickless economy cards like that get really goofy with things like NASX. They can get busted really fast. Not that NASX has proven to be a problem at any point, but I watch out for that, I guess. Pat, that's largely it, man. I was really stoked for the stream. That Geist deck was trash, but that's fine. We had to build it really quickly. We
did kill someone with brain damage, and that was
great. I think news is the biggest thing, and like I don't know, maybe I'll stream at some point more regularly. I have some videos I need to do though, but I just pay attention to NISEI.net. There's some good shit out there happening every day. I'm really excited. It's like Christmas every day. It's fantastic.
And people are discussing it on the Green Level Clearance Discord.
Yeah,
both Andre and I are now and might be interacting.
This is what I'm mentioning. This must be card art.
Yes. Yeah,
right? Like, there's no way that they have this commission just to use in promotional material, right? Like this is.
I wonder if the titles. Yeah, I wonder if the titles of the stories are the titles of those cards that those are associated with.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, for what's worth, do you recognize this outfit?
I do, but I don't know.
It's from Security Contract. Those are like the SecOps, so that's what they wear in the new Security Contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right.
The
old 4-2.
Yeah. And this is Tau, right? Yeah, it's Tau, but from a different artist, which is cool. Regular spoiler schedule has been so good, same time every day. Yeah, I know. For me, it's like right in the morning when I wake up. It's one of the first things I do, and it's fantastic. Yeah. Cool, man. That's largely it, y'all. Take care of yourself. We'll be back in at least a week. I got a replay that somebody sent in that is with System Core 2019 cards, like the system basic stuff. And I want to get that video out because it seems like newer players that are playing with like a very limited card pool, and it's not going to be too relevant for too much longer because of the new system. But I want to get that out soon because there's a lot to learn, because there's just like some strong fundamentals that you can really glean from the game to be like, okay, make sure, don't power draw last click, stuff like that. So I think that's going to be coming out soon. Otherwise, Spoilers Weeks is coming up. So there's going to be content coming out on this channel. If you want to subscribe, follow on YouTube and Twitch, and you get notifications when stuff comes out, and it helps the channel grow, which is really nice. All right. Thanks to everyone hanging out in chat. Thanks to everyone playing games, everyone watching the VOD. Take care of yourself. Love to hear your thoughts on these cards in the chat. Tell me how wrong I am about this Wayland ID.
Built the last, yeah.
Yeah, right. Pat, thanks so much for joining me, man. It's always a pleasure.
Hey, of course. It was a pleasure. Glad to be here.
Hey, cheer. Good vibes. Hey, nice. Thank you. Glad you're chilling. Take care, y'all. Ciao.
All right. Bye, everybody.